we are up. Welcome back to another episode of BallinVA. Today, I got my guys in here. John Marshall again. John Marshall. Shout out to John Marshall Nation Justices. Joe and Pride of Northside. Let me correct that. Yep. Even though I did not go there, but I'm Highland Park Northside all day. Shout out to JFK. But anyway, I got my man Randall Ward, class of 2009, one of the most nicest point guards I've ever seen.
I appreciate it.
My son was a huge fan of yours, and we always I'm like, how this guy not starting? So we got him coming in here today, and we got one of probably the most lethal shooters.
Yes, sir.
That this state has ever seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can go on and go on and go on. Class of 2012.
Yeah.
My man, Willie Mangum IV.
Yeah.
So, everybody, Randall, what is up, my man? How you been doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Can't complain. How's everything?
I'm good, man. Just it's been a while, man. I mean, we've been trying to get this thing between us, down pat, but we finally got y'all here today, man. And I appreciate y'all coming out. Y'all, please like, subscribe, and join us, man, because in order to keep these lights on in here, man, y'all gotta like it. Y'all need y'all to help. We need y'all to support. So please, support us, BallinVA and Morrisette Media. Man, where did it start? Randall, you went to Hampton, Sydney.
Yep.
Started at John Marshall, but let's get from the beginning.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
From the north side, my situation was a little bit different than most of the guys. I grew up on West Laburnum. But most of the time during the day, I was in the north side.
Okay.
So what rec were you at, Will?
Hotchkiss.
He was at Hotchkiss. So like most of the people at John Marshall, they grew up either Battery or Hotchkiss, right? I was like the only one. I was Pine Camp kid.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I went to Henderson, so I people knew about me from Pine Camp, but like outside of that, like when I came to John Marshall, I was by myself, all right, because everybody else. So I met everybody else just hooping through the rec circuit. Then I played at Henderson, then came over to John Marshall. I played varsity my freshman year, broke my right wrist, and coach wanted me to play varsity, then didn't play me. So he gave me some experience on JV. I think 3 games with JV, I scored 17, 21, 19, but that third game I broke my wrist. So then that ended my freshman year. So that's kind of how I got started playing at John Marshall and just kind of in that north side area.
Who was coaching over there? I'm going back to Henderson. Who was coaching at Henderson when you was there? Was it Cut?
No, it wasn't. Sadly, Short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach Short.
Coach Short.
Yeah,
Coach,
I had
okay.
Coach Short.
He coached me as well.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Coach Cut coached me too, but like Short started with Short.
Man, because like I said, you think Henderson, all I think about is Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cut just run everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, so you go over there JV and you break.
Yeah, I broke my right wrist.
I remember that.
I got pushed down and I was like catching my fall, and it happened like 2 plays in a row. It was bad news.
So you was out for the year?
Yeah, the whole year I was gone.
But he still was in the gym, like
Really?
not with the opposite hand going crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like really used to have the cast on playing with the other hand. Like, I remember it.
That's true.
I remember it. Like,
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, he used to be going crazy.
Man, and for me, I guess it's one of them things where John Marshall is the Mecca for the city of basketball, for Richmond when it comes to basketball. That's by far. So you break your wrist, and I was like, okay, somebody else gonna step up, take your spot. Did you worry about that?
No, not really, because to be honest with you, I was my freshman year, I was really expecting to play JV.
Okay.
They wanted me to play varsity.
Okay.
So I just remember like wanting to play but didn't get no playing time, so I didn't even understand that whole dynamic there. But no, I wasn't really worried about somebody like taking my spot because I was coming into JM knowing I was gonna have to earn that.
Okay.
So I wasn't even around long enough to even. I was just trying to make my way in the door.
Okay.
I wasn't like coming in like knowing I was gonna start or anything like that. So,
Okay. So you won't like this guy.
Nah.
You get to come in.
I knew who Will was long before he came.
he come in there, starting, at varsity as a freshman, like,
I ain't start.
I mean, I'm sorry, but just be on varsity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like just like he knew of me, I knew of him. Like before I even came to John Marshall, I knew who Randall was, like, because he played at Pine Camp. I used to be at Pine Camp all the time. It used to be you and Speed. It was like the two of
Yeah.
my two. Like I used to be like, bro, both of these dudes can really play. Like you know what I'm saying. I was young, so when I did I played at because I went to 3 different middle schools. I went to Bouchard, I went to Henderson, and I went to Chandler. And
Really?
I played at each school. I was the man at each school. Like even in the 8th grade, they was like I should have played JV at John Marshall. But I didn't know that you could play.
Didn't even know it was an option.
Yeah, I didn't even know. So like once I got to John Marshall, like I'm like I'm gonna play JV. I'm gonna go crazy. Like I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna go get JV. And as soon as I get there, I walk in the gym like for the tryouts of it. Like I'm walking the JV practice trials, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to definitely go crazy. The head coach is like, Willie, come here. I'm like. Yeah, I even know my name. You know
who was that,
like,
Threets?
Yeah, it was Coach Threets.
Yeah.
He was sitting down in the gym. He was by himself. Like, I was just ready to go to Henderson because that's what they did their tryouts at Henderson.
Yep.
So I was ready to go to Henderson or whatever. And he like, nah, you staying over here. I'm like, staying over here? I'm in the 9th grade. I'm trying to go.
Yeah, you trying to play.
I'm trying to play. Like, you know, he like, no, you staying with us? Like, first practice. I played well. Like, the practices, I played well. Like, I looked it good. Like, I wasn't, you probably couldn't even tell I was a freshman, but like, once them lights hit, like my first game, like, I'll never forget my first game. We played at Holly Springs with the benefit game. Oh, freshman year, like packed. I'm talking about you get off the bus, it's like it's crazy. I'm telling you, like I'm like, oh my God, like. But I was like hyped for it though. Like I'm warming up, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even think I was gonna get in the game. He put me in the game. Like he put me in the game.
Yep.
He put me in the game for like probably like 5-6 minutes. I might have took 3 shots. I shot 3 straight air balls. I swear, I shot like 3.
Hey, he was running the point.
Was Randall the point?
I probably would have been at that point. I would have been.
Okay.
So if he was in, he would have came in for me at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did sub in. Like,
Yeah.
So how you felt when you shot them 3 air balls? Like,
I was embarrassed. I was like, what is this? Like, but the atmosphere was so crazy. Like it gave you like a college vibe. Like it was so packed.
what was that game at?
Holland Springs.
We played them every year.
Every year we played them benefit game. Like it was so
That's right.
packed.
Because Highland Springs used to have those early games.
Yeah.
They either be with or John Marshall or somebody.
We was the only team playing that night. Like nobody played. I'm talking about everybody was at our game. Like if you play high school basketball, you was at the benefit game. Like
Every year.
Like it was like the show. You know what I'm saying? Before the season started, like it was the show.
It must be a freshman thing. So like my freshman year, we go to Highland Springs. This is J3, Jamar Abrams. This is Brandon Rozelle.
Their senior year?
This they senior year.
07.
You know what happened?
Crazy.
Yeah.
So we play. I'm a freshman. Remember, I'm trying to earn time. So I'll never forget. Somebody got that thing beat, locked. Brandon Rozelle catches that thing left side of the half court.
Shout out to Brandon, man.
I'm on the right side of the half
sniper.
court. I swear it looked like this guy's like locked eyes with me. I ran to the middle of the court, under the free throw line, under the basket. Took the charge. Man, I'm telling you, this man took off about one step outside that lane. Boom.
Wow.
He missed it. They gave me the charge. I never felt so lucky in my life until I saw a picture. No one knows. It was just
they
him in
actually
the
got a
air.
picture of it?
It looked crazy, man.
Yeah.
But this was 2000. This is 2005. So
this
there's no
05.
good cameras. So
Yeah. We were just starting to get with the technology piece.
yeah. So no, that was always one of our games.
Well, he probably want to hear this because you know that he said that they was the best team that ever came out, period. You know, that team, that shape championship team. That's what he said. Y'all ain't heard that one?
Hey, he won.
I
so I can't really-
gotta rub it in.
Yeah.
I gotta rub it in.
Hey, they won by 30 in the championship.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, they
They had a mob.
they did.
They had a mob.
They were different.
Yeah, and they said that they almost had Ed Davis. Like I guess his parents or somebody lived around the corner from Highland Springs.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I heard him that's when Scoop had their podcast. Him and Jamar Abrams. Shout out to those guys too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but he said they was the best, man. So I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's what they said.
Hey, they got a ring. I ain't got one. So he can have that.
He definitely.
Hey, well, hey, we'll live it. Let it live to see another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but finish telling me that story, man. So you go on from 05 and dealing with that situation. So how do you feel after that, like going forward?
Yeah, so just kept working, man. My freshman year, didn't play, came back. be honest with you, it saved me. That's probably why I got so good with my left hand, to be honest with you. I probably could just go right and shoot at that point, but that really changed everything for me. Sophomore year, I think we went like 500. We went like 14 and 14. But junior year and senior year is where everything changed because we lost one of our teammates our junior year, Trey. And that changed the trajectory of like our career. Like I think we probably would have been good, but like that year, like we were playing for something that like no other team had. We were coming into the season, we were coming in every game playing for him rather than like just trying to win a championship. So I mean that took us to we won the regionals. We beat Petersburg. That's Cedarian Raines, Dre John Scott, Chris Moore, Ternil. Ibn Rasul. They had a squad. They had a squad. They had the shooter too. Cooper, Jermaine.
Yeah, Cooper. I remember him.
Ray John came off the bench of that year.
Yeah, Scott. He come off, man. He come down on the break, man, and stop on a dime.
That boy's fast as crap.
Yeah.
John was nice.
Yeah. So we won regionals, and then we went to states. We lost in the semifinals to Bethel.
Okay.
So that's Jontel Evans.
I remember him.
Tyrell Hill. They had two
Africans.
Africans, 6.
Shout out to
both of them
75,
played at
man.
Clemson. They were nasty.
I was in the 8th grade. I was at the game.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in the 8th grade.
And see, when Randall told me this the other day, I didn't remember that. I was like, Bethel won?
Oh yeah.
And I just couldn't. I'm still like, I remember those guys, but I just don't remember them winning.
Because Petersburg had King's Fort.
That night. Right.
And
That's
they
right.
lost to King's
and they lost to King's Fort.
And Bethel won it.
Right, because Petersburg was predicted to win that game and they lost.
Exactly. Because I think that was the time where King's Fort had they had Jaquan Parker. Who went to Cincinnati, the point guard.
He was nice.
And Raines, he was a senior.
Tank, who played Boo.
Yeah.
The big boy.
Yeah, he was good. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So same thing. Went our senior year, came back. We actually lost regionals that year to Petersburg. Came back to state, beat TC Williams up there in Nova.
I was there for that game.
Came back down. They were scrappy.
Them two little guards, they was like pit bulls, man.
I don't know why we thought we were just gonna go in there and eat.
This was that thing, and I want you to, like, cause you was there, right?
Yeah, that was my first
year. This is my thing. Why did Coach 3? So who made the call for Travis to be at the top of the key? Remember he was at the top of the key, and it was at the end of the game, and then there were two little short guards. And they was real low. And he kept trying to go, ISO on them, and they took the ball from him.
Yep.
And I was like, why? Like, your IQ, like, why wouldn't you put Randall in the game at that point of the game? He know where to go with the ball. So I didn't understand that.
At that point, I mean, T-Mac, this is that senior year. Travis is top 25 in the nation.
I get that.
He is, but Coach like old school. Like if even you had Lamar, CT, and them guys here.
Right.
Like Coach back then, like he would get a ball to Lamar. That's just once he
Get
knows who his boy is.
Okay.
Give it up. Like that's just how that went. But no, I remember those plays.
But see, that's my thing, and this is what I was talking to CT and them about. We was about to get into it. I really think that it cost us a lot of championships because a lot of those coaches, they're so old school. And I argue with 757 all the time. It won't because y'all was better. It was because it came down to coaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we talking about player for player, just because y'all have a few great names, I got a couple of guys that's sitting right here. These are ballers.
Yeah, for sure.
So don't forget that. And I guarantee you talk to some of those guys, they'll say the same thing about y'all.
For sure. Absolutely.
So that's why I felt like that, especially John Marshall, before Ty White and them got there, we gonna go back into that. I just felt like the John Marshall should have had a lot more titles than they had.
Yeah, we definitely should have.
I think that's also part of like why JM winning now, right? Because like the game elevated, the game changed a lot. Travis was kind of like in the middle of it. Like that time, like the skill of the game was changing.
Shout out to Travis.
Our coaching staff, maybe outside of CT at the time, was very like old rooted. So it was like 96 coaching in 2009.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
He just kind of went with you go with the man. You know what I mean? But we beat TC Williams and then went to state semifinals. We lost to William Fleming on the Ty Hill missed the last shot.
They had, I forgot who they had. He played at VCU. He was nice. Shoot that
Troy.
ball.
Troy Daniels. Yep. Shout out to
Troy. And then
Troy.
they had a 7-footer.
He think he went to Delaware.
Yes.
He played at Delaware with Job. He played with Jarvis.
I didn't even put that together.
He played with Jarvis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did. Jarvis, I think he was leading the nations in steals.
Yeah, Jarvis.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, even like Will Fleming, that was a coaching. Because if you go back to that same play where Ty Hill shot it, not that Ty Hill got a good look, which was cool, but the issue was Travis McKay was taking the ball out.
Right. So they already like okay, all right.
The number one option is taking the ball out.
That's so you just
with
eliminated
3 seconds on the clock.
That's stupid.
Yeah, so even stuff like that, like that's a coaching error.
Right.
We shouldn't have been in that position. So I put that type of stuff on us. But like when you mention like coaching, like little things like that.
It's little things, and like I said, and that's for me. And like I said, and rest in peace to Coach Streets, one of the greats that came through here. And I don't want to be qualified to say what I just said it was stupid, but to me, I appreciate you saying that it was just an error.
Yeah.
Because
we used to be like that in the locker room though. Like we used to be like, why did he do this? And even CT used to want to like say more and do more, but you couldn't tell Coach Streets nothing. Like if he wanted.
Coach Williford was his dog.
Yeah.
He's been there from day one.
Sure.
If Williford backed him, it was over.
Wow.
Yeah.
But see, and that's the mystique, man. Y'all had all those guys, and this is Williford, the dad, not Jason
senior,
Williford,
yeah,
right? His dad, right?
Jay was at UVA at the time.
Yeah.
How does it feel, man, that you got all that talent that came through John Marshall that could come through that door? And anytime y'all north side, so if you walk in the north side, you play at John Marshall, it's always going to be somebody coming to you, Ray or Ray Hood or somebody, Big Red or Warren Peebles, somebody.
Yeah. I mean, for me, dude, even though I was at Pine Camp, like I said, like when I was hooping, I was around these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So if I was at Pine Camp, I played Battery. Okay. I played Hotchkiss. Like we played Belle Meade. So we knew each other. You know what I mean? So coming to JM, like you really are stepping into some shoes. Like you ain't coming up. Ain't nobody. You ain't new.
Right.
You being good at John Marshall ain't a new thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like just trying to come in and put a name on with yourself.
Yeah, make a name for yourself.
Exactly.
That was my thing. I was trying to make a name for myself. Definitely playing varsity as a freshman, I was like, I feel like the man. Like, I was like, I'm young, I'm on varsity with and after they just was in the States, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I'm going on a good team.
Yeah. Right.
I even played football. I played football too. So
really?
Yeah, I was nice in football.
Go ahead, tell us, man. This is a did not know.
Was you a quarterback?
Yeah, I played quarterback and free safety. I played for John Marshall. In the 8th grade, I was playing JV football. Like,
that's a fact.
I played JV football, and my freshman year of high school, like I was going to play varsity. They wanted me to play varsity, but our football team wasn't like
John Marshall.
Really that good. Like, I mean, they had good players, like they had like Javon Brown Lee, Jermaine Davis, like different people that was good, but like we wasn't that good. Like, and then I was getting better in basketball. Like basketball just was like coming together for me. Like I was playing AAU at Petersburg Elite.
Yep.
I heard about that.
I told you about that, right?
Yeah. Going to that.
I was playing with Frank Mason played together, Devontae Derrickott.
Yep.
Deshaun Moore. We actually had a mob. Like my AAU team was probably one of the better AAU teams in the state. Like that, just it's like team loaded now.
Yeah.
Like the AAU team I played on is the reason why they changed the name to Team Loaded.
Yep.
Yeah.
We played. We was in like Roanoke. We was playing Team Takeover.
Okay.
And we was Petersburg Elite at the time, so we played two Team Takeover teams. We knocked both of them off. We ended up playing them again in the championship. So like right before we played them, Coach White was like, "They Team Takeover. Well, we loaded over here. We team loaded over here." Like he went and got shirts made the next day. Like
really,
Petersburg Elite, aka Team Loaded.
Oh wow!
Wow. So that's how that started.
That's how it started. That's and it was me, Frank, Devontae Derrickott, Deshaun Moorman, Blade. He played at Hopewell. We had Michael Thomas that played at Holly Springs.
Okay, I remember him. Yeah, he was nice.
And we didn't have no Marshall Lee play with us. We really didn't have no bigs. Like it was just straight scrappy guards. Yeah. Like we used to press you the whole game. Like and that's how Team Loaded started. Like and from there now they one of the best AU teams in the country now.
Yeah, shout out to Team Loaded and then Coach White.
Yeah, Coach White.
And what year was this for you?
This was I played with Frank from my seventh grade to all the way up to like I want to say my junior year. So we was together since we was like 11, 12 maybe. Like started at like 12.
Yep.
Wow.
And we
Randall, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
played.
sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
No, because I was gonna get him to tell me tell Willie what you told me the other day.
Yeah.
When you was like that, Willie was just bigger than everybody else.
Willie was probably 10 size smaller, 10 pounds lighter than he is right now.
Yeah.
In 7th grade.
Yeah. I was going crazy.
That's a fact.
So, how was Frank? Because we gonna get into that, but
Yeah, we definitely get it.
how was Frank at that young age? Because me and Randall talked about that the game the other day.
How was Frank?
Because okay,
Frank.
let's do it like this. Hold on, before you answer that, let's do this. Tell them the description what you said from when we were talking about Frank, and then you can answer that.
Oh, we did. Shout out Evan Thorpe. We had Evan Thorpe on our team, too.
I remember
Evan
him.
Thorpe was like, I love Evan Thorpe. That's my guy. He was, go ahead, my bad.
You good.
No, you good.
No, Frank was probably, I got 2 other players. I'm not to remember them, but Frank single-handedly is probably, I've never seen anybody get good that fast. Like, he was always nice, but he was always like, they 3 years behind me.
Right.
So I'm looking at them like, they little dudes. Like, they nice, but they 3 years.
Right.
Right? So when we played Petersburg my senior year, I remember Drejan got checked out.
Yeah.
Frank came in. This is 4 or 5 minutes left in the second quarter. I'm a senior. Dude, don't put no freshman on me. Like, that's just where my head at. I'm competitive.
Like, what y'all doing?
I know who it is. It's Frank Nice. So I 2 threes. Bang. Bang. Walk by. Hey, you got to get Drejan back in here. Don't put no freshman on me. This lights time, right?
That's much disrespectful.
Very much, right? So Frank got subbed out. I don't know what happened that next year, though. I went to college, played a season. He played his sophomore year. Came back. It was a open gym at JM during the summer. Man, this boy caught this thing on the break. I'm going out there. I'm about to strip something. Man, he took off outside the line like Brandon Roselle, and he ain't miss. Bang! Hey, and from that pickup game for the next 3 years, I've never seen nobody get that good.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, I was like, dang. I had a moment, but that's about it.
That is crazy.
Nah, he was nasty.
Yeah, Frank was different. Frank was a different breed.
Really?
Frank probably one of the, I played at AAU with a lot of different players. I played with Squires.
Okay.
I played with Team Richmond. I played with Barton Heights, and I played with Petersburg Elite. Like, I started off playing with Barton Heights. Like, that's with like Pip, Tahil, Kool-Aid. Like, that was like
Shout out to all them guys.
that was like the foundation. That was started. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was young, and like Squeak ain't have but like older teams. So like you had to play up. Like you had to play up. You had to play like above your age level, your grade. Like you had to. So like I played with them for a minute, but I wasn't like playing a lot, you know? I wasn't really like playing. So I was like, I'm gonna go branch off. I went and played. I had a middle school game, and Team Richmond coach was in the gym. So like he liked me or whatever. And he was like, you come play with me. I was like, I'm gonna come play. I had to pay for nothing. So I played. I was getting better, you know. I was getting better and better, but we was not good. Like we really wasn't good. So then that's why I was like, I played with Squires. So I ended up playing up with Squires. I played with like Justin Anderson. Like I played with like some good players. Like I played with them, but I was playing up. So I played up with them. And then like the following year come around, Coach Rudy like see me out. He like, man, why you don't come play with us? This Petersburg Elite. I'm like, man, I ain't coming to play with y'all. Like, I'm playing with Squires. I'm playing up.
Right.
But I really wasn't getting a lot of playing time with Squires. I was playing, but I wasn't playing like I wanted to. So, like, one day we was at the Seeger Center, and, like, Coach Blackwell walked past. He had a jersey in his hand. I was just sitting on the front just waiting for us to play. I was like, who that jersey for? He was like, it's for you if you want to come play. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm gonna see what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they ended up having a tournament, and we was off that weekend. He was like, come play with us in Roanoke in this tournament. You know, you can see how it is. That was my first time I got introduced to Frank Mason. Like, we go to Roanoke. Man, we practiced together like once or twice. Like, but I already was playing against him because when I played for Barton Heights, he used to play for Virginia Flight. And like we used to go to Matoka, and like they had like a little league, and we used to play them all the time. Like,
you going
Barton
back
Heights,
now.
yeah, that was like. But he was like, but Frank was like getting crazy. Like, look, he was short. He was probably one of the smallest dudes on the court.
Right.
But he was getting crazy. Like, I used to be like, who is dude? Like, but I'm young too, so I'm like, I'm watching him, but I'm playing, but I'm barely playing. I'm playing up. I'm playing a bunch of older dudes, but I'm like, bro, nice. So fast forward back, I see Coach Blackwell. Then he was like, come play with us in Roanoke. I was like, all right, but I'm gonna come play. Like they came and picked me up. We went to Roanoke. Me and Frank had practiced like twice together before we went to Roanoke. It was like on some chill, run a couple plays. We weren't doing too much, but then we go to Roanoke and we get in the game. Like we really like this is the first time I played with Frank. Like we in Roanoke, Virginia. Like I watched this man go crazy. Like I'm talking about like he going crazy. 3-ball layup and 1 3-ball layup assist. Like he just was like he was just getting active. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where like he turned me up. Like he made me want to be better. Like I'm like, man, hold on. Like this dude, this and that. Like so I just started getting better. Me and him just we started climbing up the ladder together. You know, like we were in the same grade, same class. We playing Petersburg Elite. So after Roanoke, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play with Petersburg Elite. I'm gonna rock out with them for a year and see what's up. You know what I'm saying?
You
like,
switch quick.
I switched real quick. Like
I remember
once I met Frank,
it was like brainer to me.
It was like
I rolled with Frank.
I'm like, I'm gonna rock with Frank. I'm gonna play with Petersburg Elite. So the next summer come around, like it just gets better. Like it gets better. We started picking up more and more players. Deshaun Mormon came and played. Then we had Derek Cott. Then we had Evan Thorpe, Marshall Lee. So we started building a little mob, you know what I'm saying? Like, but me and Frank was the 1-2 punch. Frank was the point guard, I was the shooting guard.
That is crazy. Can you even imagine that shit?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
I'm like, literally, but I'm like, I can't even like,
Yeah. Well, we used to like really like kill, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody we played, it used to be so real for us. Like we used to never play our age group. Like Coach White always play us up. Like if we was 16U, we playing 17. We 15U, we playing 16. Like that's just how it was. Like Randall even played with Petersburg Elite before.
Yeah, did my ass joint.
Yeah, Randall was on the Petersburg Elite mob. But like us, we was like the young mob. Like
correct.
People used to come watch us play. You know, like we used to like really put on the show. We used to be in it like before the game. We'll be in the circle.
Okay.
Like Coach Rudy used to have us hype in the circle. Like we used to be. I'm telling you, like we used to then back down from nothing. Like whoever we don't care where we at, who we playing. We playing up, but we playing our age group. Like we gonna press you the whole game. Like Frank might get 30, I might get 22 or 25. Like it used to be crazy. Like, I'm telling you, like it used to really be like it got to a point like I want to say like my 9th grade year, like that summer coming into like ready to play varsity for John Marshall. Like I was already going crazy doing in AAU, like 8th grade. Getting up into then. That's why like Coach Streets kind of heard about me. Like he heard about me through Richmond Metro coach, Coach Buster. Coach Buster. Yeah. Coach Buster like told him about me. Like, oh y'all getting Willie Mangum. He coming over to John Marshall. Like he good enough to play varsity. But me think I'm like I'm gonna play JV. But whole time like they've been watching me on the circuit the whole time. Like everybody just been paying attention to like Petersburg Elite, 8th grade team. Like we was so good. Like we was the #1 team in the state. We beat Boo Williams. We beat like all the like big dogs in the state. Like we was like we were good. Yeah. Like so like my 8th grade year, we played Boo Williams. We played up though. Like we played against it was Jordan Burgess. Justin Anderson.
Was T-Mac on that joint?
Travis was like a year old, so Travis was on Boo, but he was because you know Justin Anderson used to play up too, like he used to play
Anderson that played the other night from UVA. They talk about that.
He
different. He's different
for sure. People was talking like he wasn't doing much in the Love Day, but I didn't see that man.
I don't know why they would say that, but I know why they said it.
But I know like. His capability is just crazy.
Because he was playing with Takeover, too.
Yeah, he played with Takeover a little bit. But when he played with Boo, he played with Jordan Burgess. They had him, Jordan Burgess. They had a mob. Like, and we played them. Petersburg Elite, we played them. We played up. Because Justin ain't never played his age group. He never played his age group. He always played the high. If he could play 18U, he would have played 18U.
Was he that size? I mean,
yes.
His whole life.
His whole life.
His whole life.
Because we played together. Me and him played together at Squires. When I played with Squires, he was on the team with me. But he was young, like, and he was like the man on the team. Like, he was getting recruited, like then, like it was crazy. But yeah, so getting into like me and Frank's, I want to say like going into high school, we both was on like we played against Boo. They beat us, they killed us, they actually like killed us. But when we played them, like a scout was there, like an All-American scout, and he was like scouting all the like better like 8th grade players going to play in high school, and like Frank ended up. We played him. Frank might have had like 30. Like I'm telling you, like I watch him just
As an 8th grader,
against like some of the best competition. Like, and like he get 30, and then he get 30. I get like 22, 25. Like no lies. Like right after the game. So like we're in the locker room with Coach Blackwell. He talking to us or whatever.
Shout out to Coach Blackwell.
I love
man.
Coach Blackwell. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Forever. But we, like afterwards, like 2 scouts was there, and they was like they wanted people to come to their All-American camp. It was like a super All-American camp for like 8th graders going into varsity or whatever. So they picked me in. First they picked Frank, and then like Coach Blackwell was like they wanted you, Willie, but it was like if you can't take Willie with him, like we're not going. So they watched the game again because it was all recorded. So they watched the game again. It was like, oh yeah, we definitely want Willie to come.
Okay.
So boom, me and Frank go to the 8th grade All-American camp. We playing against like some of the best, and like Rodney Purvis. I don't know if you know who Rodney Purvis is. He played at UConn.
Okay.
Like it was so many players like that I can speak on now that's like pros, and we played against them. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Frank on the opposite team. I end up like getting ranked. Me and him end up getting ranked like top 40.
See, I didn't know that. I remember they was talking about that, but I didn't know you was on that list.
Yeah, I definitely top 40 on there. I made the All-Star game and everything out there. Like playing with Frank, like he started the wave. You know what I'm saying? Like Frank probably one of the best players I done played against in high school. Like other than playing with Travis, like because I watched Travis like go nuts. Like I watched Travis get 40 against like Michael Benajay. Like I watched him like go crazy. Like I've been watching him since I was in the 8th grade. So I know like Travis, like he was considered one of the best players to me. Like that was
he turned that gear on.
Man, what?
It's on.
It's
on.
What?
What's up with the Skittles thing though with him though?
Oh yeah, he used to definitely keep the Skittles at the table for the game. Yeah, like Travis playing with Travis, Frank, of course. Like we had on my team. I looked up to a lot of guys on our team, like Randall, Tahil.
Yeah.
Like, cause I was young, so it was like I was looking up to them because I'm like I'm gonna be good. Like I'm gonna be good. Like freshman year come, I barely played. You know what I'm saying? Like I get in here and there, but I really didn't play much. So sophomore year come, and this is like my super year to me. Like they used to call me a super sophomore. Like Randall leave, I knew my time was coming. Like Randall left.
Because
a lot of people left. Kool-Aid left. Like
what was the point guard that was in front of you?
My junior year, that was Aaron Farrar. Farrar. He
Before I say something crazy, please, because you know I'm about to say something crazy.
But no, Coach was a big seniority guy. Like I played most of the minutes, but Aaron,
he I'm gonna tell you
he
what
knew
it
how
was.
to run the team sometimes.
He ran the team for about 3 minutes, and then next thing you know, he was sitting on the bench. I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
No. Listen, I gotta do it. No disrespect, but Randall, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He would get in. He would start, and it was like, okay, 3 minutes. He sit down. Come on, his dad, the coach, or somebody like that, or somebody. Was,
CT was close to him.
Yeah,
okay.
CT
All right.
family.
And then next thing you know, you coming in.
CT is uncle.
Yeah.
And then you playing the whole game.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
I used to be that way too. Like, I was watching, so I wasn't there when he was there, but I used to be like,
Randall will finish the game. I'm like
starting,
like he will start, and then Randall will play the rest of the game. He don't come out.
Randall get like 20.
Yeah,
he might have like 9 or 8 or something. But he did, like you said, he definitely controlled the game.
He did
definitely control the game. He wasn't like he didn't force nothing or nothing.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he wasn't as good as you. I didn't think so. Anyway,
I didn't think so. That's what I was ready to say.
But you won a lot of games with him, though. Like,
Facts. No,
and that is true.
There was
that is true.
I ain't gonna do it like that because there are some games where like I was more of a scoring point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like coach always wanted me to pass. Aaron was way more pass.
Yeah.
So like there were games where I would force my hand, where he would put Aaron in some of those into the games to get the game won. Like that happened there. I had to learn that going into my senior year.
Okay.
Cause I was gonna put that thing up.
That's how it was. Like that's how I figured it was. Cause like my freshman year, I was like, man, I should be playing more.
Yeah.
I can score. I can shoot the ball. Like, but it was like more of a learning stage for me. It was like,
you gonna learn over there. You
playing behind him. They didn't won. They've been at the states. They didn't won regionals. They didn't district. They didn't. So it was like basically like. And Coach Reese used to tell me that all the time in the locker room. wait your turn.
yeah.
Wait your
Yeah,
turn
go ahead,
gonna come.
talk like Willie.
He's like, Willie, just wait. I used to be like, man, I'm tired of waiting. Like, I want to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be like, man, I want to play. He used to be like, no, you're not ready. I'm like, man.
But see, that's what honestly, I think that's what it's crazy. Like you telling like how y'all can, and I watched it, but as you saying, I'm like, I think that's why Petersburg was so good and why we were so good. You understand? Like he's saying he didn't play, but bro was doing what he was doing at AAU in practice.
Yeah,
Like, see, that's what my next question was.
Like if you didn't know who I was and you just walked into the gym and saw practice, you might say, hey, yo, he should play over him.
Yeah.
Like you could easily get that impression. You know what I mean? So like it won't like Will couldn't play varsity.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of like
It's that
coach was
seniority.
a big seniority.
Right.
It wasn't that I couldn't hoop, but like coach was really big on that. He was over the top big on it.
Yeah.
And then to me, and no disrespect, because you know I love Coach Threes because of what he's done for our city, but it cost him. It cost him a lot of chips,
Yeah.
man. It cost him some chips. Sometimes you got. I understand. You know
rock.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it worked. And I'm not saying that it didn't work.
Yeah.
But chip wise,
Yeah, amen. No doubt.
it cost us because them boys down at the beach, they really think there's like they were better and they
Think
weren't. not in all cases.
Yeah.
In some cases they were.
Yeah.
But come on, y'all don't think that. And I had explained that to him. It was coaching.
Yep. Amen.
Yeah, because your IQ, man, you was just like my son started playing point guard because of you.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, and I wish I wish he was here because you were so heady, so smart. You know when to shoot, you when not to shoot.
Yeah.
And then you got somebody, like I said, that's in practice.
Yeah.
This dude can pull up from the other side of the court.
Maybe shooting from half
I'm
long before Steph
he
Curry.
was on some Gilbert Arena stuff for real.
Nah, that's a
Telling you.
fact. That's a
I'm like,
fact.
who is this dude shooting like this, man?
But it man, that joint came with like my freshman year, like I didn't play, so it was like the next year when I was able to like showcase myself, like I was like, I'm gonna make sure everybody know who I am.
Yeah.
You're gonna know who Willie is. You're gonna know, like, cause I'm gonna get 25 or better. I might get 30, and I'm gonna shoot it from anywhere on the court.
Yeah. I'm putting this up.
Can
And
I
then
go ahead, Willie?
And it's
Go
like
ahead.
my sophomore year, like playing with Coach Threets, it was like when I started like shooting from deep, he used to be like, no,
Yeah. He ain't like that.
don't shoot it. Shoot it too far. He used to be like,
He got the Coach Streets
Man, I'm
impression
telling
down
you,
pat, man.
Because he used to be in my ears so much. He used to be like, no, Willie, you shooting it from too far back. I used to be looking at CT like, man, what is he talking about?
I'm hitting range.
I'm making
Shout
it.
out to CT, man.
And I'm making him. I'm like,
Yeah.
see, I'm hitting. He talking about don't shoot. See, like, man, Willie, just go ahead.
That's CT. That is
Just go
CT.
ahead.
Yeah.
Like, so like, it just kept getting even like I was shooting it from deeper and deeper. Like I didn't like it got to a point where like Coach Threes finally came to himself like, shoot it. Shoot it. He used to be like, Willie, shoot it.
Shoot it, boy.
Shoot it. Like, shoot it. Like,
That's
man,
hilarious.
like me and Coach Threes used to bump heads so much, man. Like, cause my freshman year, I really felt like I should have played way more. Like, but not knowing, like, I did had a lot to learn, you know, like I watching him, and then like Tahil came.
Yep. Oh, that was a game.
Tahil came. When Tahil came, it was like, oh, I'm really ready to be chilling on the bench. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it was already like, it was Tim, Tahil, Kool-Aid, Ernest,
Dogs.
Maurice.
Dog.
And Ty
like,
was coming off getting
all
crazy.
dogs.
Yes, like
he was
and,
going off.
yes,
Verona.
and Ty was like, Ty already made a name for himself. Like
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
he already was getting active, so he came over to the Marshall. Like he fit right in. Like
Yes.
he felt right in. Like
he
he not selfish point guard. He a pass first guy. So
Right.
like, and then it was like boom, they put Ty at the point, then they'll throw Randall at the two. Like,
At the two, right.
Because Randall can shoot it.
Oh,
you know what I'm
my
saying?
God.
Like, so it was
His
like,
shot.
had
Oh,
the pass in the
man.
it was like
Hey, you got that from that three. You be like hit right in that little, like the little corner joint. You
Yeah.
get that joint. I was like, man, I'm like, did they just? That's why I thought I was like, man, Randall, like,
Yeah.
oh man, boy,
So that's how exactly how it went. It was once Tahil came, I think Tahil came off the bench against Benedictine.
it made it so much
and
better.
we lost by like we barely lost.
Barely
We supposed
lost.
to win.
Who was on that team? Benedictine.
They had on that team.
Back then? No.
DeMatha.
We played DeMatha.
It was that Benedictine.
Was the
Quinn Cook was a point guard.
They had
Y'all was supposed to play against Selby, but
Josh
he didn't
Selby
play.
was hurt.
Josh Selby didn't play.
But
They
they had,
had-
I think it was Najee,
they had
the
he
shooter.
played with the Heat right now.
Oh, Oladipo.
Oladipo. God,
Yeah.
Victor.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That game was so packed.
Yeah.
Man, what? And we still could. We should have won that game.
Man, I still got the pictures on that jump too. I got the pictures on my phone. That was right. I was behind the basket. I think Travis caught an alley.
Yeah,
Yep.
he did catch a crazy 2-hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
That was one of them games when I said when the gear kicked, like you could see.
Yeah, he was up for that game.
yeah,
it
for
was-
sure.
Yeah, he was up for
Before
that
the game, you should have
Yeah.
seen him. Like he was
locked
like,
in.
yeah, like
all right,
he couldn't
bring
wait
it.
to show them like I'm Travis.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
I'm here. Like
Yeah.
he was going
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
And we should have won that game. But after that game, that's when they put Tahir at the point, put
Yes.
Randall at the 2.
That's it.
And it was over. It was up from there.
Yeah, y'all was.
Up. Kool-Aid, Maurice.
Kool-Aid go hard though.
Yeah, for
Nah,
sure.
yeah.
That's in his DNA.
He was X Factor.
Yeah, go hard.
I think honestly, I think you take Kool-Aid off that team, it's a different
it's a
team.
different team.
He was straight. He did rebounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
He got on the floor.
Yeah.
He locked down. He was the number 1 defender.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was gonna get anybody.
And he could shoot the mid.
Yep.
Like he would get a sneaky 15.
For sure.
Yeah.
And he was like
Yeah.
a leader too. Like
Yes,
He
sir.
was.
Yes,
he
sir.
hold everybody accountable. Like
Yes,
if you
he did.
was bull, if
Yeah.
you weren't playing right, or you was
He wasn't having it.
He'll get on you practice in
That's a fact.
game. Like
That number 5, I was like, that number 5,
That's a
boy.
fact. Yeah.
I said, man, he gonna
Cool.
bring it. But
That's
that
my boy.
DNA, man.
for sure, Kool-Aid was different.
And Maurice too, he was different.
Yeah,
man.
when he definitely when he won bull driving.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man.
He, when he kind of played.
Yeah.
like my 8th grade year when I was watching y'all, like he was like I was like, oh, Maurice might can go to the league. Like,
My junior year, it was Reese and Travis.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
that's how
That's how-
everybody
yeah,
looked at it.
yeah, for
It
sure.
wasn't the Travis show. It was them two.
Them two.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maurice was nice. I said, man, them dudes go hard. Man.
Yeah.
To me, I like Maurice better during that time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Travis just had the skill set.
Correct. Yeah.
That Maurice didn't have.
Travis had it all.
Yeah, he did.
Travis had it all. I put you in the post, he could shoot the 3.
Yeah.
Handled it well. Travis was like, man, Travis was a god to me.
He was the winger today.
Yeah,
And
for sure. Yeah,
back
yeah,
then,
today,
that's what
yeah.
I meant. Like he was playing boost, so
Good
he
point.
was learning stuff we weren't learning yet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he
how all threes are today. That was Travis was doing that. Back
He was
then.
before.
Yeah.
He was.
was a-
Coach ain't like it at first.
Yeah.
CT had to make him.
Right.
He wanted that boy on the block.
Yeah, he wanted to play the post.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that man is a
That man could do so much.
man is a 6'7" wing.
Facts.
He can shoot it, score it, post up,
Yeah.
block, rebound.
Like, Coach, you seen KD before?
Yeah.
He
really.
he the mini version of that right now.
right. But back then, that's a good analogy. You're right.
He really was.
I used to. That's my guy. Me and Travis. That's my guy. I love Travis to death. Like, I really looked up to Travis when I was definitely being a freshman playing with them. Like Travis used to stay in my ear. Like I used to be like, man, I want to play. I want to play. He used to be like, Willie, just chill. You gonna be able to play? Just chill. You're not ready. I used to be like, what you mean I ain't ready?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What you talking about? Like, I'm ready. Like I'm ready. He's like,
I don't know why I think you seem more of a patient guy.
No, I wasn't patient.
Obviously not.
I wasn't patient because I put in so much work with basketball. Like
Facts.
during that time, I was in the gym so much like that I knew I was like I could play, but like then sometimes I get in game I might be shy or I might be too nervous. Like I wasn't like comfortable like I should have been.
Like that Highland Springs.
Yeah, like the Hollis Springs game, like that took the cookie. Like that's when I kind of like told myself like, all right, maybe you just need to just sit back and watch and learn. But I was like, bro, I wanna be like true freshman. I want to be one of the freshmen that come for John Marshall and get 15 a game as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, that's what I wanted. But it was like I was still playing behind him, Tahir, Kool-Aid, and they all was already in motion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like it's cool. Like I grinded out. My freshman year we went to the state semifinal game. Like I won a region, I won the district. Like as a freshman, like I was a winner. Like I was.
Yeah.
You could not say I wasn't a winner because we win everything. We was winning everything. Anything you put us in, we was winning. We might have lost like my freshman year. We might have lost like 2 or 3 games.
2 or 3 games max.
Like. And the third game would be in the state semifinal.
Yeah.
So it was like
I was always there.
it was cool. Like so that's why my next year I was like, all right, Coach Threes was still our coach, but I knew that he like knew that I Willie played last year. Yeah. So coming in, like they used to be debating like who gonna be the starting shooting guard. Vontae Payne was playing.
Yeah, I remember him.
Anthony Stuckey.
Yep.
It was just like KK was playing. A lot of different people was coming in like who gonna be the I used to be like, who? What y'all talking about? Like,
Because Vontae was number 1, right?
Tay was, I want to say Tay might have been 3.
Was number 3 or number? And it was one.
He was a single number. Like,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
But I'm like, they was like, who's going to be the shooting guard? I'm like, who? Like, I used to be playing Summer League Pine Camp. They used to have them debates. They was like, bro, who gonna start shooting? I was like, bro, I'm starting. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm starting. Like, sophomore year, they come in the gym, like, I'm going at everything and everybody. Like, nobody could stop me. Like, none of them. They finally came to their senses. Like, yeah, Willie gonna be the guy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you have a choice.
I wish CT was here for this one.
I'm telling you, like, I used to, and I was, and then I'm still playing with Travis. Travis was still there. It was me, Travis. Who was our point guard?
There?
Ty Hill was definitely Ty Hill was there. It was me, Travis, Ty Hill. This one, like, Marshall Lee came. Marshall Lee came. He ended up starting.
Yep.
And we had Dudley.
There you go.
We had Big Dudley. We had
that big boy,
big lefty.
Yeah,
he from North. He played at Dunbar in North Carolina.
Yep.
Like, we had him. Our five was crazy.
Yeah,
like,
it was a big
our
boy.
five was crazy, and like we probably like only lost like 3 games. I never lost a high school basketball game in John Marshall Gym. Like, I'm undefeated all 4 years. Like, even my freshman year, we didn't lose in John Marshall Gym. My sophomore year, we didn't lose. My junior senior, we never lost in John Marshall Gym. Like,
and it's crazy because I want to say this story too. And I might be moving fast. We're gonna go back. That Monacan game.
I never forget that game.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
But it was like, honestly, it was like the disrespect. Like, because when we was in the locker room,
I was pulling for Monacan too.
Yeah, I knew we was going to.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Because, like, the start of the game, they was down the hall from us. And, like, the way our locker room was, like,
they was banging on the lockers.
No, they weren't even doing it. Like, they was just talking trash. Like, because we you know how, like, at John Marshall, like, they was in the football room, like, in the back room. So they was in there. And, we'd be, like, right in front of the office or whatever, sitting between us. So we back there. Like, you can just hear them talking crazy to us. Like, we're going to beat y'all. We're going to whoop. They was just talking. They was cussing us. Yes, in the Marshall.
It was a John Marshall.
Man, they was talking crazy. And then
that's crazy.
When they did the national anthem random, so, like, you know how to, like, the home of the Braves? They was like the home of the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's their thing. That's their thing. Yeah, that's their thing. If you go to a Monacan game, it's always home of the Chiefs, because that's their. So they did it at John Marshall, and for me, I came in there with my Monacan shirt on because my nephew was on the team, so I had to support them. And they got on me.
I
too.
need to know about this game.
Then they was like, man, you Northside, you John Marshall, what you doing with that orange shirt? I said, man, I'm supporting nephew. I said,
Randall.
But this game, they gonna lose this game.
Randall, we jumped out. Randall,
Man,
the ball go up, tip, boom.
This game was over in 30 seconds.
I'm telling you, the first 2 minutes of the game, when the tip, boom, it come to me, I shoot it from the scale. Whoop, hit it from the scale. I come back down. I get a layup. Come back down, hit another 3 from the scale. Whoop, it's like an 8-0 run. They call it timeout.
This man had 8 points in like a minute and like 30 seconds.
Like,
I was so damn mad.
Hey, from the scale,
I was pissed.
You out there.
From the scale.
Hey, Travis over there eating Skittles.
I'm telling you.
And he over there just like,
cut that out.
I told y'all.
Cut that out.
And it was over before it started.
It was definitely over before it started. Like,
what?
I finished
over.
I finished with 25. Travis had 30.
It was over.
Like, it was crazy.
I was so mad.
Y'all had them New Jersey too.
Yes, what?
Yeah. What? I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, Willie, Willie just look at this like, he was like zoned out.
I'm telling you.
Because Sean Armstrong, he was the player over there.
Yeah.
So because he was kind of like Travis, so I said, this gonna be a game.
They used to try to compare them to.
I did. I ain't gonna lie. I did because I love Sean.
Compared to what?
To Travis, they used to try to compare
because he was
Travis.
tall, like he was like 6'5", athletic. He couldn't shoot like Travis, but he can handle a rock.
He got in front of Travis.
Yeah.
We knew,
and we found out who Travis.
Travis got up for that game. I think Travis felt disrespected.
We all felt this. We should have seen us in the locker room when the way they was talking. We was like, after the way they was talking, man.
Yeah.
We get in the locker room.
But they had a good team though.
We're gonna beat them by 20. Like we all tight. All of us. They had us tight in that locker room. They really was disrespecting us, bro. Like I was so bad. Out in the back. I'm like, bro, do they know where they at?
They did. They came in there like the crowd, like they brought the whole fans. Man, like the guys was over there. Battery Park was like, John Marshall. Because honestly, they had predicted John Marshall to really lose that game because Monacan was hot. And the winner played Petersburg, I think.
Yeah.
So I was like,
is this regular season?
This was the playoff.
This like the region.
This is the region. The first round was because Monacan had just played Armstrong.
This to go to the season.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I was there. We was at Monacan, right? And one of the coaches had called and said, "Man, what's the John Marshall school? I forgot who y'all played before them." And he was like,
we played Hopewell before them.
And he said, "I'm telling you right now, Monacan gonna beat John Marshall." I was standing beside one, and I was like, because Monacan had put on the show.
Yeah.
So I said, man, it's gonna be different going over North Side. Had that game been at Monacan, it probably would have been much closer.
Yeah, they still lost.
Probably so. The way that they played, probably so.
Yeah.
But I was like, the crowd was like, and Travis is over there just eating Skittles, just like
Getting
I was like, okay, all right.
telling you, timeout come. Travis already got like 20.
Man, the game was over with in the first
hilarious.
30
It really was,
seconds
though.
of the
Like-
game. It was over.
Like we went up like first quarter, we was up like 20. Like
Yeah.
first quarter, we was up like a dub.
and I was so
And I-
mad.
we was like, I was like,
What's wrong with y'all?
They was in a zone, man.
Nah.
I had never seen them play like that.
Yeah.
Like
We was
Willie,
locked in.
everything Willie pulled up that day,
It was in.
it was in.
It was cash.
I was so mad, man. I was so
I
pissed.
was in front of the newspaper the next
Yeah,
day.
it was in the
Getting the label.
yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like it was that real. They would
Man.
They had us.
Shout out to Egg, shout out to Jeff, shout out to Bradley, shout out to Sean Armstrong. But y'all, they let me down that day. They let me down. I walked in there like I'm from Northside. I was bold enough to walk in there with that Monacan shirt on.
That's hilarious.
And they just, and the game was over with. And the coach just he was like, I don't know what to do.
Man, there's nothing.
He didn't know what to do. Coach Rob didn't know what to do.
Nah, not Monacan.
Yes.
They had no reason to believe that. They had no track record
Look, I believe
to ever believe that.
And they
I
was,
was-
and they
I
was
was-
like, and they were like really winning that year. They was like beating a lot of teams.
they were.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were.
They was-
Because he said,
They was knocking off teams.
because Sean Armstrong he said, I wanted to play against Doovie. He wanted to play against Doovie because I guess, they play AAU together or something like that.
Get the doovie.
And right, he didn't get to Doovie. It was over with. Willie said, no.
Shout out Doovie Maxwell. Man.
Yes, sir.
His shout out, that's my guy.
That's
Duvie was on the Petersburg team.
Yes.
My freshman, he was playing.
And they used to call him like a little Durant.
Yes, they did.
Because
Man.
he was like straight dunking.
He was 6'6",
lanky.
Quante Cooley.
Yeah. He's still the same way though. His motor, it don't stop. Like,
It don't stop. Can you
dude's
man
still
playing with a guy like that on
I
your
ain't never
team,
seen him
man?
tired.
telling you, dude.
I love him.
I love
Doovie.
Yeah,
I love him,
I couldn't
man.
stand
Maxwell.
playing against him, bro.
That is my
stop.
guy.
He didn't stop. I like playing against him. Definitely Frank Mason. Mm-hmm. I love playing against like Holland Springs as well. Like
Yes,
with
sir.
Jarvis, because Jarvis always.
You said that.
That was the other
That was the
person.
other one you said
I've
that
never
Jarvis
seen nobody
came
get
from
good
here
that
to here.
fast.
Yeah, Jarvis.
Different.
Shout out Jarvis. I love Jarvis, and I
Yeah,
love
shout
his
out
game.
to
Jarvis always been a dog. Like,
Yeah.
he was like one of the ones. For real, like
He ain't
Can
gonna
you
talk-
imagine? He went
ain't gonna-
from-
he ain't loud, but
Yeah.
he, gonna
He
give you
went
40.
from a bench player to All American.
Yeah.
I was like, his game just. I didn't see it coming.
He's smooth.
yeah, definitely smooth.
He's
like,
smooth.
Yeah,
he
he's
don't
rush.
do too much.
Yeah.
he's relaxed. Like he gonna get to that free throw line. Like
He can get any shot he
Jarvis,
wants.
man.
Yeah.
Jarvis.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, shout out to Jarvis, man. I was like, that's J3, brother. He'd be okay.
Yeah,
Nah,
Yeah,
he
but
was-
I was like, no, he was better.
real.
He-
yeah,
he
definitely,
was better.
definitely.
He was real.
Other than like Jarvis, like I liked the playing with like Tutu, of course, Justin Lewis. Like, oh man, like
Look, I got to say something to you, right? I'm going to say it too while you hear about that situation. Tutu was here last month. He said that y'all was the best backcourt. He felt like that y'all was the best.
honestly,
backcourt around.
me in high school, like I feel like me and him was he probably one of the best players I done played with in high school.
Shout out to two.
It's not like I got to play with. I didn't get to sit and play with Randall.
With
you
Randall,
know what
right.
I'm saying? Like I played with Ty Hill.
Yeah.
I played with who else? G Dean.
Shout out to G Dean. He trying to
shout
get
out
on
to
the
G.
show. I got to get him on here too.
I played with G Dean, but it's so crazy because it would have been crazy if Gary Ellis wouldn't have got killed. Like if Lil G wouldn't have got killed, he was playing. He was
Yes,
gonna
sir.
play. He ended up going to TJ, but
Yes,
he
sir.
was. If CT would have got the coaching job, like if like
Yeah.
once
Like-
which he should have. Like
Yeah.
I always say, I feel like he should have been a head coach. But like if he would have got the job, G would have came over to John Marshall. Verdrell Lee would have came over to John Marshall, and already had me and Tutu
Yep.
and Marshall Lee. Like it would have been like.
Yeah, I thought
would've
he
been
should
crazy.
have got that
Crazy.
job.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, it was kind of weird for me because it's like I wanted CT to get the job, but then my AAU coach ended up getting the job.
Right.
Yeah,
So it was like people, because people was like they ready to transfer out, like they wasn't trying to go to John Marshall.
Yep.
I was like, man, bad as I want to go through the coach, like I played with them in the summer, so it was like,
Yeah.
You got the best of both worlds. You was
it
gonna win
yeah,
either
it was
way.
like, it was still like, I wasn't gonna change on John Marshall. I won't think about going to no other school. Like nobody could have.
Man, why would you? John Marshall is Keychuan say, shout out to Keychuan's the Mecca.
Yeah.
The Mecca of
sure.
it all. He
For
said he
sure.
don't put nobody, and you put me in that mode of Keychuan too. When you like had Keychuan be like, I'm gonna do this, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
And he been like that his whole life.
for sure.
Really?
His whole life.
Yeah, you can't make me like, cause like people used to be like, why you don't? Cause it was talking I was supposed to go to LC Bird, but I was.
Because I was gonna ask you where you grew up at.
I grew up in Northside. I'm from
Okay.
Highland Park.
Okay.
Played at Hotchkiss. I've been around Highland Park since I was like 8, 9 years old. My mom from Northside, my dad from Northside, my grandmother from Northside, my aunts, my uncles. Like I'm really
Shout out to Northside,
really
the whole
I'm
Northside,
really
Highland Park home.
Yeah, that's me. Like that's all I know. But like my mom had moved to like Chesterfield, and this in the midst of the coaching change. So it's
Okay.
like it's like Coach White or CT. I'm like.
You can't go wrong.
I wanted. Don't get me wrong. Like I can't cap. I wanted CT to get the coaching job because he was grinding with us.
been there.
He been there the whole
been there
time.
the
I
whole
felt
time.
like it would have been so sweet. We had pieces coming.
Yep.
But like soon as he didn't get the coaching job, G was like, I ain't going. Dre was like, I ain't going. They ended up going to TJ. They ended up being our rivals. Like they left. And then Coach White come in, and it's like. They like, bro, you ain't gonna transfer. I'm like, your mama live. They like, your mom live in Chesterfield. I'm like, yeah, but I live with my grandma. My grandma live in Northside, right across the street from Chandler.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I'm going.
Right.
They like, you not gonna go to LC Bird? Like, it was like the talk because people was like, man, you should leave CT and get a job. I'm like, bro, I'm staying at John Marshall.
Yeah, why would you,
Like, I play AAU with them. Like, then like that's when like my sophomore year comes. Coach White, my junior year, Coach White is the head coach. Okay, of course we good. Like, of course we was good. With like Tahil stayed, Vontae stayed, K stayed. Rest in peace, K. Pip came. Rest in peace, Pip.
Yes, sir.
Who else? We had a mob. We had a Marshall Lee, Big Will. We still had a good team. And then like in the middle of the junior year, like getting close to like the second half of the season, Tutu come. Like so, Tutu leave Henrico. He come over.
That was a game changer.
It's like I was like. Yeah, because he used to be calling me like, bro, I might be coming to John Marshall. I'm like, come on, we gonna be nice. We gonna.
that was a game changer.
So like the day he was like, my mom will bringing me up John Marshall, like, because he ended up using his dad's address or whatever. So he like, I'm coming to John Marshall. I meet him on the walk-in. Like hey, I tell the teacher, like, I got to the bathroom. I meet him on the walk-in. Like he like, bro, I'm ready to sign. I'm ready to come to John Marshall. He ended up coming to John Marshall. He set for like, I didn't even think he was gonna be able to play. You know, like when you transfer into the season, you
gotta
really
wait that
gotta
out.
wait till the
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
So it was like he come and it's like he get on the bus with us. We go play Tucker. We knock Tucker off. Then we come back home. We play Freeman. We knock Freeman off. The third game, he playing. Like Coach White go to the like, yeah, Tutu Justin's gonna be playing. I'm like, it's on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's up. Like Tutu come off. Like he didn't start. Of course, it was me, Tahil, Big Will. We still had Dudley for his senior year, and I want to say we had because Malcolm played with us too. Malcolm that played at Henrico, that played football. He played with us too. He was pretty good.
The QB?
Yeah.
Yo, wow.
He played with us too, but we had a mob, you know what I'm saying? Of course Tutu was coming off the bench, but like my junior year we lose to LC Bird. We lose to LC Bird at the Seeger Center.
Who Bird had what Ken?
No, yeah, they had
Ken Payne.
No, they ain't had Ken. They had he played for the Eagles.
Ferguson.
Now.
No,
he played for the Eagles now.
and Harris.
Yeah,
and
Harris. Shout out to
Ant. They had Ant.
Rob.
They had Rob.
Rob.
Yeah.
They had a nice little core, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they beat us like we up like I'm talking about we up like 7 with like 3 minutes left to go. They had like a little lefty that was shooting the ball and he ended up hitting like 3 or 4 threes back to back.
Yeah.
We ended up losing by like
Yep.
3. But during that time, it was like Tutu was, you know what I'm saying, Tutu was fresh on. I felt like Tutu should have started the rest of the season, you know what I'm saying? But of course, you know what I'm saying, Tahil was pretty good. I feel like Tutu could have played the 3 if we needed, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
because like he could
Straight
score that
guards.
ball, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and we press, you know, John Marshall, we press you the whole game.
94.
Like, we pressing you the whole game. So like we lose, then it's my senior year come, and then it's me and Tutu in the backcourt. Like I already knew it was up. Like I knew we was ready to go crazy. Tutu was the 3. They put Tutu at the 3. They put me at the 2. We had G Dean at the 1.
God damn.
Yeah, we had G Dean, me, and 2. That was the 3 guards. But I feel like, honestly, G was young. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
like when you come into that level playing at DeMarshall, like it ain't gonna just crank for you right away. Cause
Yeah,
like,
he said that though.
it gets real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it gets real quick. So it's like he was the point, but I feel like Tutu should have been a point. I feel like Tutu should have been a point. Me the 2, 3, 4, 5. How we was gonna rock. But like they put G at the point, and G was young, so we of course we win the region. We get to the region. We win the region. We lose in the region semifinal game. This is my senior year. I couldn't believe it because I just knew we was going to win the state. But we played Henrico. That's when they had Jordan, Tim,
and the other dude,
Thorpe,
dude.
Steven. They had a mob.
They had a mob.
Of course, they had a mob. But they
Jay there?
Yeah, Jay Allen was definitely there. Jay Allen was there. Shout out Jay Allen. But we played and they like guarded G like Rajon Rondo, like, you know, like, because G really couldn't. He couldn't really shoot the ball with
Right.
him. And we played. It's so crazy because we played them.
Crazy.
We played them in the Richmond Times Pass Championship that year. We beat them by like 20. Like we mopped the floor with them. Like Tutu had 30. I had 25.
Right. That was it was the Siegel Center.
Yes.
I remember that game.
Bro, we killed them. So we play them again in the region championship game, region semifinal game, and they had a game plan. They kind of like
Where is that?
at the Siegel Center.
At the Siegel Center.
At the Siegel Center. At the Siegel Center again. So they like play them like Rajon. Like, of course me and Tutu still finished with like 20 apiece, but it was like they played them like he couldn't score. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna have to shoot the ball. He gonna have to win the game.
Yeah.
He didn't play well. Marshall Lee, Big Will, and Travis fouled out. Evan Thorpe fouled all 3 of them out. Like it was. Then they ended up beating us. Like then that's how my senior year left, and I was like, man. It was bad because we was good, you know.
Good enough
like,
to win it.
We was definitely good enough to win it, but I feel like personnel. Like I feel like they should have put Tutu at the point because it would have been harder for them to guard. You know what I'm saying? Because he can shoot it, he can dribble, he can pass. But of course they played G the whole game and we ended up losing. I ain't gonna blame it on G, but
Yeah.
No, and it's funny because I had a conversation with G. Shout out to G, and he told me, he said, if what he knows now, if he had back then, like you were saying, he felt like that he was kind of, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not gonna put words in his mouth, said he didn't get it.
yeah.
And if he would have got what he knows now, because everything they were saying was right.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me. Like as a freshman, I was like, I wanted to do this, I want to do that, but they kind of like put the pedal on me, like, well, you gotta wait, you gotta. So I really just learned, you know, like, that's why I still was winning. I still was. You know what I'm saying? I scored 1,900 points at John Marshall. Like, I still was winning. Like, I won every year. I never had a losing season, undefeated. And, like, you had to learn. Like, you had to learn. And grateful that I had him, Tahil, Travis, like, and they really, like, schooled me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I was able to, like, continue to play basketball, get to D1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Play overseas. Like, even though my journey was, like a rocky road, like, but I still did it because I'd have been through it. I've been there where I didn't play at all, had to wait, didn't get to play and then go crazy.
Straight,
like,
bro.
so it's like, you had to earn it. You had to earn it, and that's how it was for me. Like, luckily I was able to still play D1 basketball because my story was like, it was like a rocky road. Like,
Yeah.
And that's good, and that's transitioning to that because now we're going to the second half of this podcast, and that's what I want to do because I want to get to your story.
Yeah.
But Randall, let's start off with you, and then we're gonna go finish off with Willie, man.
Yeah.
Your second half, you go to. Did you have any offers coming out of high school at all?
I had a little bit of interest, but I was like my game one. I was kind of like one of them dudes that got good, like noticed later. You know what I mean? So Travis being as good as he was brought a lot of attention to JM.
Okay.
Right. Pre-Travis, nah. Like Roy Williams was in our
Man.
pickup in the summer.
Damn.
Hey man.
Kansas Roy Williams, Carolina Roy Williams.
Carolina Roy Williams.
we had schools in our gym, bro, like Clemson, Wake.
When I saw that, I said, all right,
Virginia
this
Tech.
the time. This the time right here. So
Y'all, I can imagine y'all practice is just crazy.
Man,
Like,
yeah.
what?
No, they were good.
They
Like,
were
we
definitely
would go at each other.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
I'm telling you, like that's single handedly why I think we were better because
Sure.
like I really had to. I couldn't look at Will like a freshman.
Yeah, they didn't though.
Because he would really like he put me on the block, and I'm like, hey man, don't do that. What you doing? but no, I had a little bit of interest. Jay Williford Jr. He was at American.
Yeah, he was
at one point.
He's assistant coach there.
Had me come up there for a little bit. They decided to go other ways. Travis' uncle, who played at NC State, was the head coach at Fordham.
Okay.
So I had that for a little bit. I had a little bit at VMI, a little bit at TCU, but never really got like any offers.
Okay.
So most of my situation, I ended up going the D3 route.
Okay.
So I was choosing between EMU, Virginia Wesleyan, Ham-Sydney, and I think the last one was Macon.
I thought you was gonna go to EMU.
I originally committed.
Yeah, because little George was there.
George was there.
Yeah.
It was almost like his situation. George told me, he was like, it's Lamar little brother.
Okay. Yeah.
But George was All-American, Division III. Like, he was going crazy. But he
That's
told me
Lamar Taylor.
they went to Elite 8. They went to Elite 8. But he told me, he said, come here, do 1 year with me. After that, it's your show. And that's what the coach told me.
Okay.
But just because Division III, you don't get no scholarship.
Right.
So I had to kind of look at it like what I'm going to do when I'm coming out of here. And Sydney ended up putting me in this scholarship situation where I almost ended up getting a full ride.
Okay.
I didn't get it, but the fact that they like went over and above
to look out
to try to
like
get me
that.
straight, because my mom ain't have money like that to, that's Sydney, $52,000 a year. So, that's what made me switch. And I went up there and played, which was good because it almost ended up like the coaching staff, it felt like John Marshall, the way he was recruiting. Like the kids, it was like just straight black kids from the city who were looking for an opportunity. And I mean, like, the whole demographic of Ham-Sydney basketball changed. So,
Okay.
So, yeah.
See, and that's the thing. And like I said, I was like, man, my son was like, man, what Randall at? What Randall? I'm telling you, he was just obsessed with you. Him, you, Doovie, and Brandon Rozelle was his favorite players.
Yes, sir.
He was always that. And I always jump
that
on. Yeah,
He was that boy. He was a dog.
So what was it's an all guys school, and like
Yeah.
I said, me and you talked, like I said, you had like the neighboring schools around, stuff like that.
It's 1 of 3 all guys school in the country. But Longwood's right down the street, man. Like from a lady standpoint, you ain't worry about that. That ain't really a big issue. But I mean, the selling point was, they got one of the biggest alumni like groups in the area. So when you get out of school, you can get a job, you're gonna be good. So that was kind of like their selling point going there. So that's kind of why I took it there. It was only an hour and a half away from home.
Right.
Okay.
So it wasn't like crazy far. I couldn't go to Macon. It was too close.
Yeah.
I needed to be away from home. So did that. I did 4 years there. I didn't play the last 2. I got plantar fasciitis. So I was in a boot last 9 months of my career.
Painful.
But man, literally like what Willie said, man, like I always been a team guy. I've always been team. So I kind of went to like a coaching role.
Okay.
Was helping coach with subbing out, film sessions and stuff like that. So, but I really, if I like, and I wind it down, you can transition. But I really got that. Like he was talking about like his learning phase. Like my learning phase came from like probably around like 12 to 16, because I used to hoop in the summer with Corey Alexander, Lamar Taylor, Jonathan Hoggett, Tim Hoggett, Ingram, DeJuan Crockett.
Oh yeah, you going back?
Big D, Kimmy,
Rocket.
Luke Mon,
Yeah.
Parkway.
Shout out Luke Mile.
Yes,
Hey, Luke
sir.
might be here tomorrow.
Them my like super OGs, right? So
Wow.
like, I used to work out with them, but I never could play pickup. Like they would literally play 10 straight games.
So you
Make me
watching
sit.
all these guys?
They would make me sit. And
Yeah.
if you played, sit in the corner and play defense. Like
That's
you
right.
don't do nothing else.
Especially with Parkaway and Luke Mon.
Man, you
if
better
you ain't
not-
playing D, you sitting down.
Get out of here.
You
So
don't even come back.
that was how I learned how to like figure out how to be effective on the court outside of needing the ball in my hand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So by the time I got to that in college, I had weathered a few storms. I kind of understood, all right, how can I be effective in helping the team though? So that's where things ended for me. I wanted to play overseas. I had my junior year was kind of my breakout year.
Okay.
I had 15. I was averaging 15 in college at that point. I was kind of the man at the point outside of like an All-American IV we had. But then that's when I messed my collarbone up and got plantar fasciitis. But so then just kind of moved into coaching.
Hey man, hey, like I said, at least you got opportunities.
Amen.
That a lot of didn't get, man, and so I'm sorry it didn't end that way because, like I said, again, you was one of my, my favorite players, and also my son, especially my son. He always just your IQ level. I was always impressed with.
Man,
just always knew that.
That's them dudes ahead of me. Trust me. I was learning stuff probably a little bit ahead of me.
You named them names that you just named. Oh yeah, you had no other choice but to get better.
And they could go.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out Luke Mom, man.
Yes, sir.
It's like I told y'all, he will be here tomorrow, so I can imagine what that conversation is going to be like. That brother, man, he
That's
just
my guy.
Luke Mont. Let me since we go. Let me ask y'all this.
Yeah.
Where do y'all rank Luke Mont as far as just personality, game? How do y'all see him? Because CJ and them was here was just he's a god to them.
Yes, I mean, don't get me wrong. Luke Mong is my Muslim brother too, inshallah. But like, that's my guy. I train with him. Like, I talk to him. Like when I'm going through situations in life, like today, if I'm going through something, like I talk to Luke Mong like all the time. Like he don't change. He never changed on me. Like when he got an event going on, he called me. You want to come work the event? You want to make a couple extra dollars? You can come. You know what I'm saying? Like I can call Luke Mong right now and he'll give me whatever I ask for. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that guy. Like he's always been the same since I first met him. Like he never changed. Like I can call him right now. Like I need to work out. Come to my gym tomorrow. This time, like it's no, like he done met my son. Like he loved my son. Like it's like a real bond with him. Like I like real life. You know, like outside of basketball, like me and him can like conversate. Like I can tell him about my problems. I can tell him about what I'm going through, and he gonna talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of the most down to earth people I know.
Yes,
like he's super like genuine. Like he don't change. Like I got real love for that man. Like I swear, like. Nothing changed about Luke. Like salute to Luke, man. Like for real, that's my man.
Definitely salute. Would you go, Randall? How you?
Like basketball wise though, like I feel like
He got to be a top 10 guard.
yeah, he's one of the like far wise like
He got to be.
Oh,
defense.
absolutely.
He can pass it. He can shoot like Luke.
He
man,
will
like,
give you a bucket.
Yeah, for sure.
You ain't
Game,
for sure.
he ain't gonna do nothing extra,
For sure.
but it's and one. There
And
ain't no missed layups.
And he will
You
lock,
already know.
and he will lock you up. Like he will really
Lock you up quick.
He will put you in the blender. Like he will. You would.
I'm still not sure. I want to hear what he said. You should ask him. I don't know who's a better defender, him or Parkway. Hey,
I watched them both.
I've seen both of them get
I
crazy.
watched them both.
Defensive.
Yeah, pop.
Because you will always say that we got this thing we got this thing coming up, the 90s thing we got coming up
Okay.
about the players in the 90s. Luke Mon and Parkway were the top two, and Tick Hill played in the 80s from Whiff.
Yeah.
As far as Richmond point guards.
Yeah.
And then Warren Peoples, of course. Can't
Yes,
leave
sir.
him out.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
leave Warren out.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to all the guys.
Yes, sir.
But to put Luke Mon in there like that,
It has to be.
and what he brings, you know, and just like I said, as a person, is just like
Yeah.
the basketball game is just unquestionable like this. But between him and Parkway, I can't make that call.
Man, he had a squad, man. Even though
Scoring wise, I would probably go offensively. I would go with Luke Mon better offensively,
Yeah.
but defensively,
I saw Luke
that
Mon
IQ,
have a massive impact
Parkway-
on that national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it won't just defense.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he stand in that game.
Yeah, like watching the highlights, like, cause I was young, so
Yes, sir.
But watching the highlights and seeing it now, like, cause you know he trained me, so it's like I be hearing about him, and then I watch him play, and then like I seen him play at Union. I'm like, man, Luke was.
and Parkway the same way,
See,
man.
I didn't.
Y'all was too young.
I know Parkway too. That's my guy. Shout out Parkway. I love Malik. I love Rob.
Yes, sir.
I love both.
Malik just like Parkway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
But like, as far as scoring that ball and playing defense, like,
Yeah.
He got to be.
you can't leave Luke Mon.
No, you definitely can't leave Luke, man.
Jab would get a bucket and Jab.
What Mac called him, the stabber.
Yeah.
Luke Mon Jabba, the stabber.
Yes,
I'm telling you for real, like.
No.
No, Jab can go out there. Jab probably can still go out there right now today.
Man, they was playing in the mature league over there when y'all was like a week before. I guess they ended a week before y'all started playing.
Fats in them.
Yeah, Fetch League.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Fats, that's my guy.
Yeah, because I think they started back up again. Mm-hmm. Man, Luke Mon was giving them buckets.
I believe
I
it.
believe it.
Man,
believe
Luke
it.
Mon, I was going out there. I was like, man,
But Luke Mon's still in the gym every day.
Every
I
day.
feel like it's
Really?
he touched that basketball every day.
yeah, because he doing that tour right now.
He trained. He touched that basketball every day.
I wish he could have got to my son. I was trying. We just couldn't work it out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I train with Jab now. Like I'm getting back into it because like situations happen. So now I'm back into it. Like ready to go back overseas or whatever. But like I train with Jab now. Like I go to his gym all the time. I don't have to call him a million times. Hey, I need to get in the gym. meet me here at this time.
Okay.
Meet me here at this time. It's not, oh no, Willie, like no, it's the same.
Yeah, he gonna
It's
be the same.
He's the same. That's why I got a lot of love for Luke, man. Like,
Yeah, how can you not like Luke Mon? Like, I would say this about two people, and this is like basketball wise, and I know this kind of crazy when I make this comparison. Two people that I would say in life for me, that if you have a problem with them, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
One is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq just funny and just stupid. If you got a problem with Shaq, something wrong with you. But the other one is Luke Mon.
Yeah.
Because Luke Mon is the nicest guy you ever want to meet.
Yeah.
But when he on that court,
Oh yeah.
he
Yeah,
a
that's-
demon.
yeah,
He's a dog, bro.
Like,
He's-
and like, I'm like, well, he give the same effort on both ends.
Correct. Yeah.
And I just,
and he gonna coach you up too.
ain't gonna coach you up.
And he gonna coach.
He the epitome of a leader.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, who you telling? That
Yeah.
man, you said it right, Randall. I mean,
Yeah.
that was perfect.
For sure.
Yeah, but Willie, let's do this thing, man. Let's go into college career, man. Let's tell us about your journey, man.
My journey was crazy.
Yeah, we got some time.
was
This is your half now.
It was like, so my 10th grade year, like he said, like we had like so many different coaches in our gym. Like I'm talking about ACC, you name it. Like they was in John Marshall. Like so, my sophomore year, I was considered a super sophomore. I was averaging like 25 a game. Like I was actually killing. Like only person that was averaging more than me was Travis, and he was on my team. He was averaging like 32. So it was like him, and then it was me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was all Metro that year. I was all region, all district. The following year, I ended up being player of the year in the district. I was all region junior year, senior year. I was all everything. From sophomore to senior year, I was all everything. So, but my 10th grade year, so like you said, we had schools in the gym. Like Virginia Tech was recruiting Travis at the time. Like Virginia Tech was on Travis hard.
Yeah,
it
they
was on
wanted
him
him.
hard. Coach Johnson, he was on him hard. But I was like, at that time, like I said, I was killing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I started making a name for myself. Like people started like really like, oh Mangum can play. You know what I'm saying? Whoop, whoop. Virginia Tech started recruiting me.
Okay.
So like, cause Travis ended up committing to Wake. Travis ended up committing to Wake Forest. I'm like, dang, we ain't gonna have no more schools.
Yeah, it's over with now, right?
Like, I'm trying.
That's a good way to look at it, though.
I'm for real though, because it's like, you know how like when you play basketball, like don't get it twisted, like other people bring schools, so it's like
Absolutely.
it might be like,
Absolutely.
he can play. Like I'm about to start seeing what's up with him. So
Yes, sir.
that's how it was. It was like Travis had Wake in the gym, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Clemson. He had like all the ACCs in the school in our gym. So sophomore year, I'm going crazy. Coach Johnson, like after a practice, Coach Johnson like put up on me like, man, I like your game. I'm gonna start like keeping
That's
up
Coach
with you.
Chuck, right?
I don't know if his first name is Chuck.
Chuck, light skin.
No, he was like a brown skin ball head guy. He coached at Virginia Tech. He ended up becoming
Oh, okay,
after Greenberg.
okay.
He ended up becoming their head coach.
Okay.
So like
okay.
he was in the gym. He was the assistant. He was the head assistant at the time. He was like, I'm about to start recruiting you. Like I like you.
Okay, this
like your
Virginia
game.
Tech, okay.
Yeah, I want to see how you develop. So sophomore year, I'm going crazy. Like he coming to gym. He's still coming to the gym. Like summertime come around. See, ACT, he used to be in there watching me work out. Junior year come, he like, oh, you getting better and better. So like he like, I want you to come to our camp. So I ended up going to like the Virginia Tech team. I ended up going to their camp. They asked me, but of course they watched me playing the circuit as well, on the AAU circuit.
Yep.
So they come and watch me and Frank play at the time. So they invite me and Frank to the camp. So we both go to the camp. We know what I'm saying, we killing. It was like a scholarship open. It was between me, Frank, and Tyler Lewis. Tyler Lewis, the white kid, he was good. Like,
Yes, sir.
He could play. I played with him too with Team Loaded. We all played together. So it was like, all right, boom. I'm like, I'm trying to get this scholarship offer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, I'm gonna keep recruiting you. So my junior year come, like, but of course I wasn't like a good school person. Like I didn't like school. Like
That's why I was like, yeah, your journey was a little different.
school wasn't like my thing. So like Coach Johnson found out that I was gonna have to go to Juco. Like, cause Coach White tell him like, Willie gonna have to go to junior college because his school, he don't be going to class. Like I was like a hothead, like far as the school scene. Like I didn't like school, like, but I love basketball. But you know, you had to have a certain, you had to have a certain like GPA to play, you know what I'm saying, high school. Like if you fail and you can't play. So I used to just do good enough to like play. Like so like the first semester, like I'm gonna make sure I'm coming to school, I'm going to class, boom, I'm eligible to play. Season start, like season start, I'm playing.
That's some shit.
I'm for real. Like this is my mind was so like small then. Like I just wanted to play basketball. I didn't think me coming from where I'm from, I didn't think that I would be able to like play at the next level. Like I just thought like high school was it. Like this is my show right here. My high school is my show. So boom, my junior year I kill. Senior year I played well, I kill. And so like I was like Coach White, like the day of people signing, like they was signing in school, like in John Marshall Gym, like I was one of the ones that was able to sign. Like I didn't sign to no school. I was this player, that player. I didn't have no scholarship offers. Wow. But I had like all the top junior colleges wanted me. Like so I had like Southern Idaho. I had a school in Nebraska. Had a school like up in New York. Had a school in Kansas. Had a school in Texas. School in Baltimore. So it's like I could pick between what junior college I want to go to. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna take the Juco route. It is what it is. Either that or I'm gonna be in Highland Park. So like I'm gonna go Juco. I go Juco, but as I'm going Juco, Tahil and Kool-Aid. No, Tahil went to Western Nebraska Junior College. Like Coach White got him in Western Nebraska. So I was like, me being who I am, I'm like, man, I need to go somewhere where I could be comfortable. Boom, I commit to Western Nebraska.
I remember that.
I committed to Western Nebraska, go play with Tahil.
How cold was it out there?
It was really cold. It was really, really cold. It was like, but it was cool. Don't get me wrong. Like it was cool. You couldn't get in no trouble. Like you strictly basketball. Like you can focus, you can lock in, and that's how it was for me. Like the first semester, it was cool. I was killing. I would lead us in scoring, of course. I was one of the leading scorers on the team as a freshman.
I was following you.
Then so like one day we took like, you know, in junior college, like you get to like the Christmas break. You get the Christmas break, you get to go home and see your family. So I go home, me, Tahir, Kool-Aid was there with us too. Kool-Aid ended up going to Western Nebraska with us. So
wow,
it's me, Tahir, and Kool-Aid. Like we living in the same dorm. Like it was three of us to one dorm. So the way the ordeal was, it was like I had a scholarship there. Tahir was already there, and it was like, all right, Kool-Aid can come play, but he got to stay with y'all. If y'all want him to come play, he got to stay in the dorm with y'all. So bet, you know what? Cool. That's our brother.
We're from the pop.
We ain't tripping. That's a no-brainer. He can come. We three to a dorm. We the only people in it's co-ed. It's co-ed. We the only three to one dorm.
Okay.
Me, Tahir, and Kool-Aid. Like we getting through it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the season come around, we killing. I'm playing well. I'm playing like awesome for real. Like I was player of the week all the time. Like I was playing good. So we go home for the Christmas break. My birthday is in January 1st. So we go home for like 2 weeks. We get to go home for the family, whatever. But the coach wanted us back like on it. I want to say he wanted us back on like the 2nd. Wow. But you pay for your own flight. Like we had to pay for our own flight to get back to school, whatever. So it's like, but the next day the flight was like cheaper. So it was like me, Tahir, and Lay, like, bro, the flight like a whole $130 cheaper for us to fly back on the 3rd. Like it's just the next day. So we all fly back on the next day, bro. We get to campus. We go to our dorm. We get to the dorm, we go to practice, we get in practice, he tell us three, y'all can't play.
What?
We like, what you mean we can't play? Like, y'all supposed to be here yesterday. He like, only way y'all can play is if y'all run 60 suicides.
Ooh.
60 suicides. Like, me being me, I'm like, okay. 60 suicides, tripping. But Tahir and Kool-Aid, they weren't running them neither, but like the next day, like they like, man, we gonna go run the suicides. I was like, shit. I ain't running no 60 suicide. I promise you, I ain't running no 60 suicide.
No God.
I'm not. And then it was like, I feel like it was inconvenient because it was like we paid for ourselves to leave. We had to make sure we get back. We got back a day late, but it didn't like we missed practice and nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He penalized us. So Tahir and Kool-Aid, they wake up in the morning, they run the 60 suicides with him, he timed them, they end up missing like, because it took them, they didn't do it in a day, so they end up missing like 2 or 3 games, but the whole time they like, Willie, you gonna run? I'm like, no. I used to go to the game and be a spectator, like I'm on scholarship, so I'm gonna go to class.
Wow.
And I played so well the first semester, like a school out there was already saying like, why you don't just withdraw and come to this Juco and play with us? So I'm like, I bet. I was like, I'm not running no suicide. So I withdrew from camp. I withdrew from class. I withdrew. Wow. I went to Northwest Kansas Tech. Like it was, and they were like in one of the best. It was in the Jayhawk conference in Juco. So I'm like, I'm going to play here. They was really good. You know what I'm saying? The conference was really good. So I go there for like 2 weeks, but I couldn't play because, you know, when you transfer to schools, like you can't play right away. I would have had to like wait out the rest of the season and play the next season. So I get there, I'm training with them. I'm there for like 2 weeks. Like I was on campus. It was just so bad. Like not the living or anything. The living, I didn't respect the living either because it was like all of us in the house. There's no privacy. Like it was bad. Then where we was staying, where we was living at, it was like a dry town. Like nothing to do. I just couldn't take it. Like my mental, like I just couldn't take it. I already wasn't playing basketball, so it was like, I can't do it. Like
you
I
couldn't
can't
zone out.
Yeah, I couldn't. So I ended up withdrawing from there, bro. I flew out. I went home in 2 weeks. No lie, I went home in 2 weeks. I was like, I can't do this. Like my mama, like, why don't you stay? I'm like, Mom, I'm already not playing. I'd rather just come home, regroup, and then go to another JUCO the following year. Like, so I end up going home. I go home. I'm chilling. I'm still playing basketball every day. I'm playing the pro-am, and then Baltimore City Community College like they hit Coach White. They hit Coach White like we want to see what's up with Willie. So they come to Ben Wallace pro-am. Playing in the pro-am. They watch me playing the pro-am. I kill. They like afterwards. I signed with them right after the pro-am. They came to my mom's house. I signed. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Baltimore City Community College. I leave home probably like 2 or 3 weeks later. I leave home, go to Baltimore. Like we staying in like some apartments. Like Baltimore City is in the heart of Baltimore. It's like in the hood.
Yeah,
so it's like it's not like you just like, you know what I'm saying? Like don't get me wrong, I'm from around the way. I'm from North Side. Like so I adapted well. Like it wasn't like it was something I was tripping on. It just was like, oh, we in the hood.
Yeah.
Like we right here. Like so like I'm on campus. We training. Everything's going well. Like, cool. We had a nice, decent team coming in. I end up linking up with some dudes out there. Like one of the couple. He played last year before. He was on campus, but he wasn't playing. And dude ended up like they used to give us like meal cards. Like they used to give you like meal cards where you can eat all day, or you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the dude, he ended up going to like one of the teachers' offices and taking the meal cards. Like he take the meal cards, like. He take the meal cards. He just passing them out to the team. You know me, I'm like, give me a couple. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he give me 2 or 3. He give my roommate 2 or 3. So we got meal cards, and we like, in the way, you know, you in JUCO, like you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's rough, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to make sure you eat. So like we using the meal cards that he took, you know what I'm saying? Like me and my roommate, we bringing the meal cards, we using them. We get mad drinks, food. We taking them back to the apartment because we ain't got no food in the apartment. Now, we really struggling. Like we really, you on your own, so you really struggling.
Like CJ, he said the same thing too.
You're really struggling. So like we end up, you know what I'm saying? We doing that. Then like so like we had like a weekend off, and I was like, man, I'm going home for the weekend. Like. I'm gonna go home. I went home for like a day. The head coach called me. He like, I don't think you should come back. I'm like, why? What I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, he was using the meal cards that such and such took. I'm like, I mean, he was giving them away.
Right. Yeah.
When he took them, I didn't go take the meal card. So he was like, I don't think you should come back. So it was like, all right, cool. I took it on the chin. Like I was messed up. I didn't know what was next. I was like, cool. So I was home for probably like 4 months, bro. Like. Luckily, like I was playing so well. When I did touch a basketball, like people still was like following me. So like I was home for 4 months in Richmond. I was getting fat. I wasn't playing. I was just like, I was out of it. Like, but I was getting recruited from Cal State Bakersfield.
Oh, wow.
Up in Cali. They was recruiting me the whole time. I didn't know they was watching me the whole time. So their assistant coach called me like, hey, Willie, you still want to play basketball? Like, I'm like, yeah, I do. You know what I'm saying? I do want to play, but I don't know where I'm going to play at. He like, well, look, I got a school for you. I'm like, you got a school? What school? He like, San Jacinto up in Houston. You know, that's where Sam Cassell played at, Steve Francis played at.
Yep.
So I was like, cool, I bet. I think about it. He like, you got to let me know in like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you got to get on campus. So I'm like, all right, cool. But another school called me, which was Independence, and they was in Kansas.
Kansas,
yeah. They are a pretty good JUCO as well.
Always.
And they wanted me. They was on it. They was on it for like 5 days. They was calling me, and then I think something happened. I think somebody told them something about me, and then they stopped calling. So like the last week, I'm like, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cal State Bakersfield assistant coach called me again. He was like, look, what you want to do? They want to know. I'm like, man, I ain't never been to the campus, never knew what I was going into. It just was like, I felt like it was my last straw.
Yeah.
It was like, so I was like, I'll go. Forget it, I'm going. They faxed the paper, I signed. I go to San Jack. I get there. Like, it was like, they had like, I swear they probably had like 8 or 9 players going D1. Like, I feel like I walked into a perfect situation. Like,
Yeah.
I walk on campus, like, I'm in Houston, so Houston is like a beautiful city. I was like, cool, it's more to do. I ain't got to be so cooped in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then I locked in on my own. So like I started like, I was going to the gym every day. I couldn't play that season because I came on like mid-season. So either way, I still had to sit it out. So I used to come to their games and watch them play whatever with this suit on and I'm saying watching whatever.
Wow.
So
gotta get that weight off.
Yeah, but I was in the gym every day, two or 3 times a day. I was working out. They was on me, you know what I'm saying? Like the coaches was like really on it. Like, so I go, like I train, I get right. Summer come around, I come back home. Of course, when I get back here, I'm training even harder. I'm going even harder. I get back to San Jack. We got like, my team, I had 9 guys signed D1. 9 of us go D1.
Wow.
So I get back, I get on campus, like I had a vengeance, like I just had something to prove. I was like, I done set out almost 2 seasons. Now it's time to get going. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like, and Cal State Bakersfield had offered. They had offered me before any school in the country offered me. Before even touching the court, they was like, you go here, they're gonna make sure your grade's good. You're gonna do so everything was going right. I had a 4.0. I never had a 4.0 in my life.
Damn, boy, you really doing it up.
I swear to God, like,
Yes, sir.
But it was like the situation I was in. It was like you couldn't fail. Like if you failed, it was because you didn't want to go to class. Or like it was a perfect situation for me. They made sure I was okay. They fed me well. The school used to give you like money every week, like every Thursday, because the kitchen was closed. The school diner was closed on Friday, so every Thursday they'll give you like $120, for the weekend to eat. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool. It was perfect. It was like perfect situation. The coach his name was Coach Gennard. We called him Coach G. He was like super cool. Like he was like he was a player's coach. Like he knew I used to shoot the ball from deep. He didn't like, so coming in, it was like, coming in, he was perfect because I ended up playing Pro-Am. I played the Pro-Am in Houston at the Fundy. I played in the Pro-Am, and that game was like, all the pros was in there.
I was going to ask you, how was that?
Crazy. Like, it was like some of the best competition you're getting in the world. Like, I promise you. And I used to train at the University of Houston with like some of their players. Because one of the dudes on my team, he was from Houston. And he was like nice. He was like 6'8". He was like a 6'8" Travis. Like, I'm telling you, he had a motor. He ended up going to Louisiana Tech. Like, super nice. He playing overseas now. His name was Jay Hedgeman. Like, super nice. I never forget him. Like, super nice. But like him living in Houston, it gave me a platform where I can be like, I went to play in the Fundy in the Pro-Am. I could just show myself. And I used to train with people that he knew. You know what I'm saying? I was just getting better and better. So coming to the season, like, I was hungry. I ended up averaging, and Juco, I averaged like 26 a game.
Oh, wow.
I averaged 26. I was a Juco All-American. I was top 60 Juco player in the country. I had like 16 D1 offers. I had like TCU, Texas A&M. I had Wichita. I had Eastern. Of course, I had Eastern Michigan.
Unreal, man.
Man, Townsend. I had schools, bro. Like I had schools, but of course I had Bakersfield. My plan was to commit to Bakersfield
because they were the first ones to reach out.
Because the coach was the reason I was able to
be in your situation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to show my loyalty. I'm going to go to Cal State Bakersfield. I took my official to Cal State Bakersfield. I went on campus. I loved it. It was cool. The coach was cool. I was playing for a black head coach. He used to coach Ole Miss. He was super cool. He was like, man, I've been recruiting you. He said, man, I've been watching you since you was played, because I played in Atlanta. They had a Juco All-American. I was invited to a Juco All-American showcase in Atlanta. Me and Tutu went together. Like, we drove down together.
Damn.
And he was like, I've been watching you since then. And I'm like, man, that was like
a minute ago.
Yeah, it was like, he was like, I was killing though. I made top 20 Juco All-American in that jump. And he was like, you was just killing. Like, I'm like, I get on campus to Cal State. I play pickup. Of course, I was doing well. Did a couple drills. Of course, they wanted me. But like me being me, like of course I'm gonna do something wrong. I end up fucking up. So I get on camp. I'm in Cali.
Jeez, man.
I'm in California. Look, I'm in California. First time ever in Cali. I get there. I had a host. They gave my host like $400. Like he like, what you want to do? I'm like, I was smoking weed at the time, so it was like, let's go to the dispensary. We go to the dispensary. I spent like $200 on just weed. Like I brought weed everywhere. Me and my host was going. I was smoking weed, bro. Like, I ain't gonna even lie. But I thought that was the fun in it.
So that's
like
how
I thought that was like, oh, this how we gonna get Willie to come. We gonna show him a good time, which they did. So I get on campus. I mean, I get back. And it was crazy because I was so mad because I really wanted to go to Cal State Bakersfield. I was going to commit and sign to Cal State Bakersfield. So I get there. I'm having this. I'm partying. They, of course, you know they give you like a hotel to stay in.
Man,
I didn't even stay in the hotel. The hotel that they gave me, bro. I didn't even stay in the hotel. I ended up staying.
What was wrong with it?
Nothing was wrong. It was awesome. But I just was in Cali. Yeah. I didn't make it back. I didn't make it back. Like I'm talking about, like my host was cool. I got cool with a couple players on the team. I went to a party. I went to like a little hookah spot. I was smoking like everywhere. Like so, I ended up staying at these girls' dorm. Like these girls' apartment. They had an apartment. So like I met a girl there. Like and she was super cool. Like I don't know if they baited her in to like get me to commit or whatever. Like, but like
I'm sure
I'm like
they did.
I was having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like so I ended up staying with her in her apartment. Like,
Shout out to whoever she is if she ever see this video.
I was staying with her in the apartment. Like so like the coach called me. He like, Willie, where you at? I'm like, I'm at such and such apartment. Why you not in the hotel? I was like, I just stayed over here. It was cool. I was enjoying myself. So he come pick me up from the apartment. I had just finished smoking weed. Like I'm talking, bro, I'm talking about I smelled like nothing but weed. Like, I knew, and I'm getting in the car with him. You know, like how you like I was in the car with the girls. Like it was like 3 girls. I was sitting in the back seat. We all was just smoking. He pull up, like, come on with it. I'm like, oh, I smell. I'm in the car with the girl. Like, bro, I smell like straight weed. Like y'all, like what are you gonna say? They just like. You know what I'm saying? So like, I get in the car, look at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I thought this is what you do.
Which I did.
If F was a person,
bro, this is my first.
This him right here,
bro. This is my first visit. This is my first college visit ever. Like the first official in Cali.
And this is what you do.
This is exactly what I. So I get in the car with him. He like, what's wrong? Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like. But this is what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm enjoying myself. Like they brought weed, I smoke weed, I smoke. You know? I thought I was supposed to have fun. This is my visit. I don't go here.
Right.
Like I can leave here and go to San Jack, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you can't play." That's not what it was. Like they didn't drug test you at San Jack and none of that. So I was cool. Like he was like, "Man, I could lose my job if they found out you was smoking on a visit." I'm like, "What?" Like yeah. So he ended up still taking me to see the head coach. The head coach loved me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I leave Cali, I get back to San Jack, I fly back to Houston. I get to Houston, my head coach at San Jack, like, so what you gonna do? You gonna commit? You gonna go there or whatever? I'm like, I don't know. So like a couple days later, I come in practice, you know what I'm saying, getting right. I tell Coach G, like, look, I want to commit to Cal State. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I liked it out there. Like, so I'm like, I want to commit to Cal State. He like, nah.
Yeah.
He like, no. I'm like, what you mean, no?
That nah, bro.
I'm like, what you mean, no? He like, no. I'm like, he like, they don't want you no more.
See?
I'm like, oh my God.
And he just said this was his last chance, and then he go out there and wild out like that.
God, dog, bro.
So,
bro, I thought it was protocol. I thought it was like, that's what they
podcast
do.
over. I'm done.
I thought they was like, that's what
I'm
they
done.
do to like get you to come to, bro. I had like, cause you gotta think about it.
Did he just say it was protocol, man?
You watch too much Jesus show.
Yeah, man. Like, no doubt, like for real.
He got game.
I'm really like, oh, this is my moment. Like, I'm enjoying myself.
Willie Mangum had just took over this podcast. I'm done.
I'm like, I can't get in trouble.
This
This is part of the routine. This is what they do. Whole time they take the scholarship away from me. Like I'm like, damn. I wanted to go there because the assistant coach showed me so much loyalty. He was the reason I was able to be in that situation again. Like, to have a D1 offer, and he started it. So I'm like, you gonna come here for me? I'm like, of course. I'm loyal. Like I'm coming to Cal State Bakersfield. I'm committed. I get on campus, back to school. Coach G like, nah, they don't want you. I'm like, they don't want me. He like, nah, you just wait. I mean, you got. He was already saying like a lot of schools like you. Like I had schools. Like I had Lafayette. I had schools. I had University of Houston. Like I had school, Eastern Michigan offered. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just wait it out. I finished the season. We ended up making it to the national tournament. We was ranked top 10 in the country. I was ranked like top 50. I was ranked like 43 player in Juco. So I was like, cool. School's gonna come. I ain't tripping. Schools was still coming. You know what I'm saying? So schools was still coming, but then like schools was starting to hear about what I did in Cali.
What you did,
you know what I'm saying? You know how like, it's college.
Coaches
talk. Yeah.
Talk.
So it was
Coaches
like, I was like, because I took a visit there. I was like, I'm gonna schedule a visit for Eastern Michigan because I liked the head coach. Me and him we really kicked it off. Then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to University of Houston because it's already in Houston. They was recruiting, so I'm gonna go there. And I was like, all right, TCU had offered, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna take TCU. And then Texas A&M started recruiting, so I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna just like it pan out. I waited it out. TCU dropped. They was like, I feel like they heard about what I did in Cali, so I'm like, TCU ain't fucking with me. So then Texas A&M, they was recruiting, then they stopped. I was like, shit, they might have heard about what I did out there too. So it was like, all right, Eastern Michigan offered, Wichita State had offered. I was gonna take official to Wichita State, but I ended up like, I'm gonna take Eastern first because they had a black head coach. I wanted to play for a black head coach. That was my thing. Like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take Eastern first, but I had another school in Texas, Pan Am. Pan Am had offered me. They playing like the WAC, but like
I was
like their coach was like on me like so hard, bro. Like he was like, I'm telling you, bro. He was like, they recruited me like he was coming to practice every day. Like one day, bro, we played in the region championship game in Juco. And I left my shoes at the apartment, bro. I left my shoes in the apartment. I didn't have no shoes, bro. I didn't have no shoes to play in the game, man. Like, bro, this coach was like, I'm going to go get your shoes. No, like because he reached out to my girlfriend at the time in Texas. He was like, she told him like, Willie left his shoes. I don't know what he gonna do. Bro, he went back from where we was at, drove back to Houston, got my shoes, brought them back. Then brought me a fresh pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but he wanted me really, really bad. Like, he really wanted me. But I was like, it was the conference that was like, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
Because, like, some people don't respect conferences. Like, you know how
that is true.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to consider the WAC. Only reason I was going to go play in the WAC was because Cal State Bakersfield, because they in the same conference as them. And that was the only reason I was going to go because the loyalty to the coach. So I ended up, the Pan Am coach was on me hard or whatever. So I was like, I was rocking with him. I was like, I'm gonna take official. I'm gonna take official there because you get like 3 to 5 officials. So I was like, I'm gonna take 3 because I was like, I feel like the word of mouth was getting around. So I was like, I need to commit.
You need to go.
I need to commit and sign before
all that stuff.
So I was like, I bet. So I took Eastern. I went to Eastern Michigan first. I took Eastern, even though I wanted to take the Pan Am visit first. Eastern Michigan visit, I took the Eastern Michigan first because the assistant coach was like on it heavy too, and I like Googled it, looked at the school. I was like, let me see what's up with it. So I go to Eastern. They put me in like one of the 5-star hotels. Of course, they put you in a nice hotel. Eastern was like in like Ypsilanti, and it was like it's not like a lot around it. It's not like you can't get in no trouble, So it was like the gym was super nice. The facilities was like NBA, like it was like the best of the best, like the football field, like everything was just beautiful. I was like, I like it here, you know what I'm saying? And of course, it was a whole black head coach staff. Like it was like everybody was like probably had like one guy on there, but that was white. But he was like, I loved him, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, this might be for me, you know what I'm saying? So they was like afterwards, they was like, so what you gonna do? You gonna commit? I was like, I'm gonna take the visit to Pan Am because Pan Am was showing love. So in the midst of me, like, I'm gonna take the visit to Pan Am back out. Pan Am back out on the offer. I was like, oh my God.
This is last chance you right here for real.
I'm telling you, bro. Like,
how you get all these chances, man?
Man, I don't know. It's alhamdulillah, like Allah.
For sure.
I'm telling you, like, but it was like what I'm gonna do. So it was like, but my head coach at St. Jack was like, Willie, wait, fuck that, wait. Don't even like wait. You all American in JUCO. Like, people transfer schools, people leave schools, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I ain't trying to have to go to like Union, like, cause you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go to Union, like Virginia State, cause like I knew that was like in the air, cause it was like, of course they wanted me.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't want to go to Union. So the Eastern Michigan offer was on the table, and it was like. And then my host was like, me and my host at Eastern, like, we still cool to this day. Timmy Bonds, shout out Tim Bonds. Like, he played in G League. He playing in Dominican probably right now. Like, he was super nice. Like, Tim was nice. He from Baltimore. So, like, me and him kicked it off. I was like, I like Tim. You know what I'm saying? The team that we had coming in for Eastern was, like, really good. James Thompson, he playing in the BBL right now in Germany. We had Raven Lee. He was, like, one of the nation leading scorers at Eastern. Like, I'm telling you, I watched him get 50. We had a mob. Ty Tony, he playing in Germany right now. We had a mob. Like, we had a good team. I'm like, Eastern. But I felt like it was my last straw, so I committed to Eastern. I signed to Eastern Michigan. Like, I liked it out there. Like, we lived good, ate good. Like, so it was like a cool situation for me. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. It was like a cool situation. Like, only thing I didn't like about it is we played the 2-3 zone. That was the only thing. Like, because our head coach, he coached under Jim Boeheim for like 10 years. So he came to Eastern. He brought the 2-3 zone to Eastern. So that's what we was running, and of course we was winning games. Like, we were really good. We lost in like the region finals to go to the March Madness 2 years straight, like back to back. Because I only did 2 years there. Because, you know, when you go to JUCO, you got to do 2 years, and then you go to your 4th year and you do 2 more years. Like, because you only get 2 years of eligibility. So we was pretty good. Like I averaged my junior year there. I averaged 15. I averaged 15, 3 and 2, playing like 20 minutes a game. I started. Senior year, I ended up averaging like 16.5, averaged like 4 assists, 3 rebounds, couple steals. I broke the record, most threes in the season. I hit 93 in the season. Like, I played well. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I played well, but like playing the 2-3, like, kind of like shook my career, because it's like scouts was like, can he play one-on-one? Can he play man-to-man? Right. You know, and that's how it is. It's like, can he play man-to-man? So I'm like, of course I know I could play man-to-man, like, because that's all. Our coach was a defensive guy. Like, he was.
And I saw that too.
He's a defense first.
And I saw that.
Yeah, he's a defense. Coach Murphy was like a Rob Murphy. He really was like a defensive guy. Like, he really wasn't too much on offense. But me, I'm like, bro, I scored the ball. I scored the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I've been doing my whole life. So I get there, and then I still average like 2 steals a game. But at my homeboy Tim, he averaged like 3 or 4. He like he was like leading the nation in steals. Like, so my team was like really good. I had James Thompson. He was like one of the best rebounders in our conference. Like, team was really good. Like, circumstance was cool. Me and the head coach ended up bumping heads a little bit like my senior year, because I was ready to leave. Like, my junior year, I was ready to leave and go to Union. I was either gonna go to Union or State, but I was like, nah, like, I'm gonna thug it out, because I want to be a pro. I know it's kind of hard to be a pro going D2, D3. You know, it's kind of hard. It's even, you got to work even harder. Like, you have to be.
And that's what I was gonna say too, because we getting close on. Actually, we probably ran over on time, but I want to get to that real quick before we wrap up. Going to that pro, you know, because, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to kind of put that. So through all of that turmoil, that when you said you had a story, that's a goddamn story, for sure. And you still end up going pro.
Still going pro. Still went pro.
So looking back on that, with all that being said, and like I said, I wanted to kind of get to that, but we getting short on time, and I want you to be able to go to that.
Yeah.
What, looking back on that now, would you do it over again, or would you just say that, or would you tell the people, because you got your peers that's gonna be looking at this,
yeah,
and with all them stories, what would you say after all of that?
I mean, honestly, just like listen to your gut. You know, like, I feel like I could have did a little bit more, but I feel like my story was my story.
Right.
You know, it's like my whole life been a story. So it's like playing varsity as a freshman, to barely not playing, then being good in high school, and then going to Juco and making a name for myself in Juco. Like, I made a name for myself, you know, like no matter how I had to do it, like I didn't quit. I could have been gave up. I could have been like, man, forget basketball, forget college, period. Like, but I kept going, like, you know, like my journey is my journey. You know, it's like it was set in stone. Like if it was gonna happen, it was this how it was gonna happen. And
but
it
you're blessed though, man.
Yeah, I played in Germany. I played in Brazil. I played in Germany and had like a great career in Germany. I averaged 16 a game in Germany. Played in Brazil, averaged like 15. Lost in the Final Four. Like it's been a rocky road. Like even now, it's still a rocky road. Like, but I'm still not like it's over. You know, it's not over. Still got an agent. Still, still looking for another opportunity to play. Like it's not over. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. Like I wouldn't change it for nothing. Honestly, like it's my story. It happened. Like if I would have been better in school, the only thing I could say is like do your schoolwork. If anything, like do your schoolwork. Because if I was like doing my schoolwork, I might have been at Virginia Tech, out of high school. Like I would have had more offers out of high school. But I was me. I ain't have my father. Like my mother was a single mom working 2-3 jobs. Like she really didn't force me to play basketball. Basketball was on me. Like she was at every high school game, but my mama worked. My dad, he wasn't around. He was locked up. My dad died. He ended up passing away. He never even see me play high school basketball. Yeah, so it's like I grinded it out. Like I wanted to make a name for myself at the end of the day. Like being around like him, Travis, like I watched them make their own name. Like I watched people just all they talk about Randall Ward, Travis McKay, Ty Hill. Like I wanted to be one of them. Like, well, you're gonna know about Willie. Like no matter how I go, you might could count me out, but like I still been going. Like through all the things I've been through. Like my brother was killed. I took a year off basketball because my brother got killed. So it's like everything happens for a reason. Like I was going through a lot. Now I'm like back on track. Like I'm back to being me. I'm back in the gym all the time. I'm playing basketball more. But like I wouldn't change my story for nothing, man. I swear. Like the only thing I'd change is I just would have went to school and went to class more. Like
yes, sir.
That's it. Other than that, like, because I could have probably went to class more and still ended up had to go Juco.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I might have went and got recruited. But I feel like if I would have did my schoolwork and locked in, I would have been ACC. I could have been, I could have been conference. I could have been in a crazy conference. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
that shot you got, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, definitely.
Man.
And then like junior college, bro, I was more like put together. Like I could shoot it from deep, but I was like a real player, like pass, shoot, defense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll lock you up. Like I was
still playing defense.
Like I was more. I had something to prove. Like I was like, I need to go D1. Like I knew me being me. I was like, man, I need to be an all-around player so I can go to D1 and get a shot to be a pro. Like I worked out for the Brooklyn Nets. I worked out for the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, I worked out for the Brooklyn Nets G League team. Like, but at the time when it happened, it was just like I wasn't prepared, like mentally, like not my body. Everything else was ready, but mentally I wasn't. I was like shut out. Like it was a lot going on. Like life hit you in so many different ways. Like so losing my brother, my father. Yeah. Then my best friend that I was hanging with every day, he ended up getting killed down Juco. So it was like basketball was like the last thing on my mind. Like lately, like it's just coming back, you know what I'm saying? Like people around me keep telling me, man, you need to keep playing basketball, this, do that. My friends, Tato, like all my friends from like my neighborhood, they all tell me like, man, you need to keep doing this, keep doing that. So like now I'm back into it. Like I feel like I can play overseas for like a few more years at least. Like doors are opening slowly, but they're opening, like they're opening because I'm still into it. I'm not a hothead. I haven't been getting in trouble, so like things been changing, like, but I wouldn't change my walk for nothing. Like,
no, that's a walk there because, like I said, a lot of people that went through different routes, but your route is your route. Everybody might discover their path. Yeah. And how many years you played overseas?
Just 3 years, going on 3.
And to go through all of that, man, and I don't know if you know it, Randall, at all, but I didn't know this.
No, this is all new.
Yeah. It's new to us, but no, man, I just want to, say I appreciate y'all coming on our show, man, and you sharing that story because when you hit me, I was like, All I knew was just shooting Willie, pulling up from half court Willie, know, and both of y'all kind of, hit me at the same time, and I just thought that it would be good to have both of y'all on here. And I appreciate you allowing him to come on and tell his story too.
Of course.
My guy.
Because you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I want you, to be able to say that. But
I wish we could have got Travis over here with us.
yeah.
At least I should have told Ty Hill. Kool-Aid probably would have came for sure.
Lay would have.
Kool-Aid.
what we'll do is we'll set it up to the point where we'll get everybody on. This, like I said, I just need y'all to share this as much as possible.
Amen.
I don't care. The more you share it, the more viewers.
Yeah.
We need that. And I appreciate y'all supporting because, I was hitting me, I was liking it. I said, man, when you hit me, I got excited.
Yeah.
And when he hit me, I was like, Randall Ward, what? I feel like I made it. No, seriously, because I followed you guys, man. So and then when he hit me, it was like you hit me. It was like the next day, and I was like, man, this is big.
The setup, like I was like, this looked like.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I like it. I like the vibe, the energy.
CT and them did it right too.
Yeah.
Well, they look, John Marshall, man. We gonna end it. Let's let y'all know I got Ray and them coming on. Ray Hood.
That's tough.
Ray Love.
Huh?
Ray Love. Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy. Man.
Another
gonna be
John Marshall, G Dean.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we got the John Marshall showing love, and then next year, season 3, we're gonna get Smyree and Tree and all of them to talk about that Iverson game.
That's tough.
I'm mad about that.
Said Iverson ain't even warm up. He laid. He got 60.
Yeah.
What?
But we're gonna wrap this up, man. Thank y'all. Subscribe, like. Again, we're gonna thank Randall Ward and Willie Mangum for coming on.
Thank you for having us, brother.
Yeah, I wanted them to be able to get their story out, man, and we had fun today. And thank y'all, man. And y'all want to say anything before y'all go out? And shout outs?
It's all love, man. Shout out John Marshall.
Shout out JM.
Shout out to Marshall, man. You go to the Marshall, man. It's a family business, man.
That is true. All right, y'all. We out.